What's going on, guys? Welcome to episode 36 of the Tastecast, our weekly podcast where we talk about random topics, we watch videos, we talk about what we've been playing. My name's Seth.
I'm Chevy.
And I'm Chris.
And a quick reminder to play Assassin's Creed Freedom Cry and Just Cause 3, both off for free on PlayStation Plus right now. Play those, come back at the end of the month for Plus Club. We'll be talking about our impressions of them. Let them know yours, whoever the fuck they are. And Game of the Month is Payday 2. Play that, come back for Tastecast. We'll be talking about that as well. And yeah, so we're going to be jumping into what we've been playing. My list has not changed a whole lot since last week, aside from one thing. So yeah, I'll jump into it. So been playing Fortnite again a little bit. Actually played quite a bit today. Game's still really fun. Ran into some assholes though. It's bound to happen. Still need to progress to the second area. I just keep building up my base at the second area, like really fucking intensely. Like I have to keep going and get more resources because I'm like upgrading every single fucking part of it. So by the time I actually do that part, it's probably gonna be fucking way too easy. Yeah, so I've been playing that. That's fun. Been playing Just Cause 3 a shitload still. Love that game. And I believe you have been playing that finally.
Today.
Yeah. Any quick impressions on that? Obviously, we don't want to spoil that talk.
I mean, it was pretty much what I was expecting it to be.
Yeah. Have you played it all?
Not since I had the problem with it.
Yeah.
But I found Chevy told me
I had the same problem and found a fix.
So. Yeah, I was kind of worried about that because he was going to play it today, and then he came in and told me he's also experienced the exact same problem you had. Let us know in the comments if you download that on PlayStation Plus, Just Cause 3. Are you having loading or crashing or freezing issues at all? Because both of you guys experienced the loading.
If you are having that problem, go into your network settings and turn off your PlayStation's online capability. So just take your PlayStation offline, and the loading seems to work after that. So,
which is really, really kind of a downer. Like, I'm glad there's a fix for it, but it sucks that game apparently is having issues because if you guys both had the exact same issue, there's obviously a problem. I actually have the physical copy I bought when it came out, so I didn't experience this. But at least there's a way to fix it. There's always a way to fix it typically. So, but yeah, so hopefully you'll get a chance to play that.
Yep.
What else have I been playing? Other things that I can't remember. But mainly what I want to talk about is I finally got a chance to play Sonic Mania. Hopefully you guys got a chance to watch my unboxing episode that came out a couple days ago or earlier this week. Waited on it for a while because I wanted to get that collector's edition. Finally got it, and the game is fucking awesome. It is fucking awesome. I would go as far as to say it's probably one of the best Sonic games ever made.
I'd agree.
It's up there with Sonic 1 through 3. I'm not going to compare it to Sonic Adventure because that's too hard of a comparison. But I love Sonic Adventure. But yeah, I mean it's deserving all the praise. What they've done essentially is they've taken the old look and feel and enhanced it, enhanced the animations. They didn't change them. They added animations, and it seems like every time you beat one act of what was familiar, the second act is their interpretation of it, which is actually very accurate. It feels newer, but it still feels at home with the original act you played. There's also brand new bosses that threw me off,
which are all really neat so far.
Really fucking neat. Like this game just kind of married what you would play and like what would come out as like an HD remake of the game that you already played, you love it, blah blah blah.
Yeah.
But added some new stuff to it to make it exciting and awesome. I mean, they did such a good fucking job of this game. That like, and it looks great on like a full, like, you know, nowadays TV. Just everything about it is amazing. I fucking love this game.
Did you play around with the filters at all?
I switched through them and check them out, but I haven't played with any of them on yet.
I haven't played with them either. I just went and checked them out. I think it's neat they're even there. Kind of reminds me of emulators, which is kind of a weird example, but yeah.
It just, this game feels like a passion project by fans of Sonic. Like, nothing here seems like anyone's trying to get your money for Sonic. Like, you like Sonic? Here's a Sonic game. Give us money. Like, it feels like first and foremost, these guys are like, we have this awesome idea for a Sonic game, and they got to make it.
Yep.
And they fucking nailed it. I want more games like this. I haven't even beaten it yet. I've played probably the first like 4 acts or whatever, and there's brand new ones too, brand new levels that they've created. The soundtrack is fucking awesome too. There's like new versions of the older ones that are enhanced, and then there's brand new songs that fit right at home with Sonic, sound just like it, but a little more newer. with the same sound effects. It's just an awesome game, and if you're a fan of Sonic, you have to buy it. You have to get it.
Or if you want a good introduction to Sonic, even.
Yeah.
So I think it's a good entry point. I mean,
Even for like a new age of fans, yeah.
I mean, and it's $20. $20.
Yeah. It's so fucking worth it. Are you interested in it at all? Well, fuck. Nah. After that endorsement, definitely not.
I'm gonna stick to my Sonic adventures.
Those are also really good. Maybe that team can make a newer, cool version of that.
Please do.
That'd be neat to play
Yeah,
on
but what
like
if
PS4.
they don't specialize in 3D? What if they're...
We'll learn.
Well, I didn't think that this was going to be possible, and it is. So,
that's great.
I'm surprised and so fucking thankful for a good Sonic game. Like, how the hell did that happen? Sega didn't make it. That's how it happened. Sorry, Sega. I used to love you.
Yeah.
I do. I still love you. There's a Sonic back there.
Well, and it's funny because like they still like publish and make games that people like. They just don't do it often, and a lot of the games they don't even bring over here. So
And they're quiet too. Like they produce shit, but they don't say anything. And like it's just like we know we suck. We're not going to say anything. And they're just over in the corner, like here's some stuff. Just don't
They're
talk
like
to us.
that beaten child just poorly tucked
Yeah.
away in the corner.
do you follow their Twitter at all?
Uh-uh.
It's just constant like
Help us.
joking, constantly. Embracing the fan stuff, but they're never talking about stuff they're working on.
I think they're the ones that tweeted like this is the first time a Sonic's got a 7.5 or higher in 15 years. I'm like, damn.
Yeah.
It's bad when you guys are like, this is pretty cool.
Like, our game got reviewed really well. It's only been, like, a decade and a half.
Yeah, that's crazy. You've also been playing it, though.
Not as much as you have at this point.
Yeah.
I only played for about 30 minutes. I really liked it. I want to play more. But
Even like that Puyo Pop or whatever the fuck.
the Puyo Pop, like, Mean Bean Machine.
Yeah,
that
that
boss fight.
like I was not expecting that. I was like,
was so
and
cool.
you had mentioned it, but I didn't think about it. But I was playing it. I had fought a couple bosses or whatever, and then I got to a point where I'm getting up to the next boss, and there's fucking Dr. Robotnik or Eggman, whatever the fuck you want to call him. And then Sonic drops down to a thing right next to him. He's just like looking around, like trying to figure shit out. And all of a sudden, it's Puyo Pop. And I was like, oh shit. I was like, I'm great at Tetris. I'm about to fuck you up, and I did. I ruined him. I wrecked him. But that was it was really cool and refreshing. It was something I wasn't expecting. It was just really fucking neat.
I think it'll be a missed opportunity if that's not unlockable as a mini game to play separately.
Oh,
as well.
I would love that. And there are unlockable things, it seems. With the
It's
question
got
marks.
to be in there.
Yeah, that'd be really neat.
Yeah.
Yeah, it would suck if they already put it in the game. They're like, you can't play it anywhere else. You have to always do that boss battle.
Yeah. Anything else?
No, I have not played anything else. That's it.
Very robotic of you.
Robotnik.
Robotnik of you.
Ugh.
Let's see.
I'm sick of this.
Also been playing Just Cause 3. Not going to talk too much about it.
You shoot things, a lot of things explode.
A lot of things explode.
You can pretty much fly.
I'm pretty sure I'm not playing the game the way most people do, though. But
I saw you driving a car. That was bizarre.
I was collecting them. I wasn't really driving.
I saw you just
very
fucking
far.
driving like 40 miles per hour. I was like,
10 and 2.
I was say what
you're
I'm
not
actually
flying. You're not shooting fucking get over here's at people, and you're not blowing shit up. I was like, what's happening?
You watched like 5 minutes of gameplay where I wasn't doing that because I was literally just
Caught
like
the best 5 minutes because I was just like,
I spent most of the time with my parachute out just.
dude, I'm constantly just fucking flying through trees and blowing shit up and fucking just.
Yeah, I don't play
Flying
that
off
fast, but travel wise, the parachute and wingsuit are way faster. So
I'm going across the ocean in the squirrel suit, and then I'll pull out the parachute and get a little bit of air, and then I go squirrel suit, and then I parachute, squirrel suit, parachute. And I'm slowly
How does that
climbing.
parachute recollapse itself?
Don't ask these questions in this game.
I'll say it.
Just cause.
play that game and then. Let me reword that. If you play that game and you're trying to bring logic into it, you're going to hurt your brain.
The game's just fun. Just
Like
allow
I
Chris
fun.
doesn't like fun.
I'm not going to use any guns. I'm just going to tether enemies to everything.
You
That's
can.
what I do.
Bye.
Literally, there's so many parts in that game where you're like, you have to escort like a convoy of vehicles, and you can do it any way you want. You can fly around, you can shoot shit, you can get on the vehicles, shoot shit. I normally stand on the back of a car, and as vehicles fly up, I tether the front of it to the fucking side of a bridge, and they drive and get yanked off the bridge and fly off. Like, it's so fucking fun.
The last mission I did before
Or a tank drove in. I hooked it with 2 tethers and it pulled it into the ceiling, and it couldn't shoot anybody. I'm still...
Yeah. The last mission I did before I shut it off, I was in the back of a truck that was trying to get away, and I was being chased by helicopters and cars, and the whole time, like, helicopters would go, I'd grab them, put it on the road, throw them on the ground as hard as I could.
It's always funny, too, when they're barely moving, they'll just be flying there, I'll tether it, and then, like, it'll be like this for a little bit, and then he tries to go away and goes... in the thing. I'm like, huh?
Well, and then, like, with the cars, you know...
Or if
like,
you put them together, they're just like...
Oh, yeah. Well, with the cars, even, like, you know, same thing. I'd hit them, I'd hit the road, they'd start going, and all of a sudden, they're just like... and they'd just go flying out of the car. The one thing I don't really care for, but this is every game.
It's right-clicking the right analog to aim. It's awful.
I didn't
Is
even
that
know
how
you
you aim in that game?
I didn't even know you could aim, so thank you.
Fuck's sake.
Yeah,
But,
to like look down, or
I-
not down sight, but to zoom in a bit.
I was gonna say the control scheme seems fucking wonky.
There's a lot going on in that game though, so
Yeah.
I get it. But yeah, it is weird.
Yeah, I kind of want to try it on PC, see if the controls maybe make more sense, because they just don't seem to make a lot of sense on controller for me. I'm
Yeah, you can
constantly doing things. I'm like, I didn't mean to do that. Like, I don't know.
Yeah.
But that's enough of that game.
Also, one more thing. Fucking, there's a part where these guys are like parachuting in. There's like 8 of them, and at first I was trying to like grab them and pull them off their parachute, but if you just shoot them to go to grab them, they instantly just detach from their parachutes. So I was going, and they're all just like flying down and hitting the ground. I was like, all right. And then another time, because I failed that mission and went back in, I actually did it so I flew at them, because if you grab somebody and just fly at them, you'll kick them. I flew up and kicked the guy in the parachute, and I started just doing it to everybody while in the air. So it's like going boom, 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 just kicking off the parachutes. I was like, what game can you do this in? Just Cause 3.
Yeah.
And it's dope. Yeah, so we talked about that a lot more than I thought we were going to.
Yeah.
Anything else you're playing?
Yeah, except for now I've lost it.
Puyo Pop.
I played it with him. Or I tried to a couple times.
Shit, now I lost it because we were talking about that for so long. I guess come back to me because it's gone.
It's Overwatch.
It was Overwatch. Thank you. I hopped into.
No, he's got your list. For
I
you.
got my Twitch hooked up to my Amazon, so I got my Twitch Prime stuff, and they're like, "Here's 1 gold chest and 5 normal chests." It's like, oh, okay. So I logged in to
The summer
collect
event.
them, and then they gave me 1 free one for the summer event as well. And I played a couple rounds, and it's still fun. I did notice there's not too many people playing the versus AI mode anymore, which bums me out.
What difficulty we set it on?
I tried all 3.
Really? Because after you left, I was trying it on medium, and I got Qs, no problem.
Yeah, I've never successfully gotten a medium.
See that makes sense, because in Siege, when you do against AIs or whatever the co-op shit, if you play the hardest difficulty, it takes way longer to get into a match.
I say I had the best luck doing easy and hard.
Yeah.
I couldn't get into medium matches at all.
And I get in Overwatch people playing on hard, because that game is
not
really easy.
I'll say it's not hard.
Yeah.
And then, you were talking about that mode where you get every 3 or 4 victories you get a chest, and I found that section of the game, but they're all competitive modes, so I was like,
Arcade mode.
not
I'll
interested.
just play with you, and I'll get you those boxes.
Yeah, okay. As I sit there and have a nervous meltdown playing against people.
I'll get you them boxes.
But yeah,
I'm gonna get you some boxes.
so that's
Snipe everybody down.
what I've been playing. So
What'd you get out of your boxes?
nothing.
Nothing.
I mean, yeah, pretty much nothing. I didn't get a single skin. I got most
Really?
Yeah, not a single one. Out of all 7 boxes I opened, I didn't get a single skin. I got a couple player icons. I got mostly credits and
Sprays.
sprays. Yep. So, thanks.
All good stuff. What are you playing?
More Overwatch and Warframe like last time. But the other day I was playing, because the internet at my house went out, I played about 6 or 7 hours of Skyrim.
Damn. For what? For calculator?
Just to fuck around with it.
On iPhone?
I think it was on a potato,
It's
actually.
on everything. You can play that shit on everything.
Yep. Yeah, I just kind of fucked around. I didn't do anything.
How was it?
Skyrim.
Yeah. All right, that's fair.
Man,
So I could be like, yeah, it's amazing.
I don't even remember what I was an Argonian for once. I never play them because I think they're ugly. And
Dorks, too.
But they can breathe underwater.
yes. I think I was a caster.
I remember Morrowind, I found a cave that was underwater, and I tried to get there with like my human character, and I was like, nope. So I fucking remade a character in Argonian just to get in that place. It wasn't even worth it.
I think that's pretty close to the beginning. I remember that.
Well, there's a lot of different places, but yeah, it's like it's a little bit north of like Satanin and shit.
Yeah.
I did find a quest I've never done before though. It's
There's probably so many quests I haven't done that game.
right. You go to this town. The town's being a girl died. You find the guy who killed her. It turns out he's a werewolf. Can't control it. He's been cursed by the god of the hunt. So he has to appease him. You go outside and you talk to the god of the hunt. He's there talking to you for some reason. He's like, you have to kill him. Like, you have to. You have no choice. I've cursed you until you kill him. So you go and find him, and you can align yourself with him because he's being hunted by all these people. And so I was like, fuck it, why not? And so I went with him and I killed all the hunters, which some of them were really fucking tough. And I go outside and I'm like, whatever, the god, I don't give a shit. And I go outside and the god's like, you didn't kill him, but you killed everybody else. I'm like, yeah, I'm not going to be part of your hunt. He's like, but you were. You still killed a bunch of things, and I like that. Well, fuck.
Damn, we can't win.
Nope. He's a big elk. Big white elk. God
Yeah,
of the
definitely. I never did that.
Yeah, it was really weird. I've never done it before.
That sounds oddly really similar to, even though in Witcher it's done better. The whole werewolf guy out in the woods, you gotta track him down, and I let him end up killing this chick that was into him. It was fucked up.
The sister of his wife.
Yeah.
Because she led her sister to him to kill her so she could be with him.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah, all the side quests thing are amazing, but we're not talking about Witcher. So.
But yeah, I played a bunch of Skyrim one day.
I wish they would make a new Elder Scrolls game that was on a new engine, because I really, really miss Elder Scrolls. But I'm really bored of that fucking engine.
I want another game that's like Skyrim, but in a different like setting. Not necessarily like the Elder Scrolls like universe, but like a different universe. I think it'd be really
Fallout?
fun. No, I don't want Fallout either.
Okay.
Well, you mean you played Witcher 3?
Witcher 3 is so fucking good.
Cyberpunk's coming out. So.
Yeah.
I need that game so much.
Yeah.
I wish they would just show fucking
Something.
something. Show me a picture, dude. Show me a drawing.
It'd be cool if we saw something at Gamescom just because it's closer to their offices. So.
Give me a stick figure that's just like, this will happen in the game, and it's just a guy shooting somebody. Be like, awesome. Like, I'm 100% buying this game.
Yeah, they really kind of blew their load with that fucking teaser because it's been so
Well,
long now.
yeah, but if they show that game off and it's amazing looking, I will forget the whole wait. I won't even care. 'Cause I'll be
Yeah.
like, fuck.
They gotta have some assets to show off soon.
Oh,
It's
they've been
years.
working on the game for years.
They
I
did
just-
a huge hiring spree last year.
Well, just amazing too, because like they've made The Witch or whatever. They got really popular off of that, and fucking
Really rich.
and then they're making a new IP, and they're not even advertising it or getting people hyped for it.
Not
I mean, they
yet.
must be that confident in that fucking game. They'll be like, yeah, when we show people, they'll be ready.
They're literally gonna just do this. They're gonna come out and they're gonna show it, and they're like, from the team that brought you The Witcher, and everyone's gonna be like, I love that game.
Never heard of it. Never heard of The Witcher. And then they're gonna show the game, and be like, holy shit, I need this.
Like, if people haven't heard of The Witcher, so many people have bought that game now.
Yeah, there's been a couple. I know 5 people maybe. Yeah.
Yeah.
That it?
That's it.
All right. That was fucking quick and easy.
Summer events are taking up all my time right now.
Yeah.
Gotta get them loot boxes.
I need to play Overwatch, but right now I'm playing Lawbreakers and I just can't do it.
I've got 2 of the 3 new skins already.
Oh, there's only 3?
There's 3 new ones, yeah.
Okay. Oh, yeah, because they brought the other ones back. That's cool. You got 2 of them. That's
Yeah,
fucking-
I got the
that's
2
some
best
good-
ones.
I thought you were bad at rolls.
I got Daddy 76 and Lifeguard McCree.
It's funny you say that too, because last night I was having a text conversation with him about Brave Exvius, and he's just not having no luck getting any of the near characters. But then, like, he's like, I'm just gonna turn off or delete this game while I'm ahead. I'm like, you have Transterra, which is one of the best casters right now, And then, like, today he comes over and he's showing me his characters, and he has 2 of the best support characters for casters. I'm like,
That's all I get is support casters.
I don't have any of that. So don't give me that I'm bad at rolling shit. You're just not getting the same stuff.
Bro, Ace, Terra, Trance Terra. I have regular Terra too. I got Kefka. I got Rem, Riku.
He has good luck, but he has cursed hands. So as long as it touches the die.
Well, it's funny because I tried to roll for him today, and it gave him a tank, which is funny because I don't get tanks on my game. So,
Like a tank, like World of Tanks.
I mean, he's pretty large.
Just like a truck. All right. We're going to watch some shit. I pulled 3 videos. 2 of them you guys will probably be excited to know. They are
This
Monster
one sounds
Hunter.
horrible already.
No. Okay. So, for some backstory on this, for a while now, a couple days, I keep seeing this popping up. It's a game called Fishing Planet. You guys probably already seen it already. But apparently the trailer is just really intense.
Fish.
I know. I was like, wait, looking down here and doing this. I thought I had something fucking hanging.
This trailer's supposed to be crazy.
It's supposed to be really intense. It's
fishing
a
game?
fishing game. It's just a normal fishing game. So we're gonna watch it, and we're gonna give our impressions.
Do you know how many fishing games I was subjected to as a child growing up?
Yes.
Is this a bad thing? Is this gonna do something to you? It's gonna bring up some memories.
Triggered.
Yeah, like how like my save file for my 99% complete Final Fantasy game was erased to make room for more fishing games.
Ooh, that's a bad memory.
That's pretty bad.
Hopefully this doesn't stir up any
99% with no guide.
back in the day, no guides, no internet.
Fucking Dark Ages.
We lived through those dark ages. Corded phones and shit.
Waiting for your game news to come once a month in a magazine you could read in 10 minutes.
Now I get a magazine, I'm like, huh.
What is this?
I already heard about this shit as soon as it happened.
Do I have this?
I'm not interested in your fucking writing. This is fake news. Let's chuck it right in the trash. Recycling. I recycle. Okay, Fishing Planet. Let's go. 3, 2, 1, and start. Game engine footage. It's a beautiful game.
It looks gorgeous.
From the creators of The Witcher.
I'd be pissed off if a fishing game didn't look gorgeous. There's nothing else for them to render.
Yeah.
Most time look awful.
It is actually very good looking.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
Why is the music so intense?
It's building.
Ooh.
Wow,
That's
good.
a great water effect.
I think I know what Frank's buying.
Right?
You should show him this.
Why is it so dramatic?
This is a dude standing there. It's a good looking game.
Whoever made this trailer needs to do it for golf games too.
Yeah.
70 plus fish species. Okay. And it's gonna drop.
Is he gonna pull a dragon out?
As soon as the fish bites, it's gonna drop the music and then pick up really intense.
Oh my god. This makes me want to buy this game.
Nope. The guy looked really weird there when he was fishing. Like his arm
he looks
kind of
like shit.
went through him. That's a big
What's
bass.
happening? It's a horror movie?
What the fuck? Text that to Frank right now.
Okay, so that's coming soon. Fishing Planet. I feel like somebody who used to do trailers for Michael Bay movies, for some reason lost their job and fucking somehow fell into this. Maybe had a friend who worked for this company, and he just did that. They're like, you know what? I didn't think this would ever happen, but yeah, we're gonna put that out.
You know what this did? Made people talk about it.
Yeah.
The advertising is gonna go through the
I mean,
roof.
there's no reason we would ever be fucking talking about a fishing game on our channel.
No.
It's not even on my fucking radar, and here we are.
So
Yeah.
Just gonna have nightmares.
So I'm actually I like fishing games. So and just like graphically, I was pretty impressed by that. So if it's a good price, I might actually buy it.
Probably like $30-$40. I can't imagine a fishing game being full price.
So I don't know if I'd do 40, but 30, I think I'd be comfortable with.
What if and I 100% doubt it, but what if the game actually had a soundtrack like that too? You're just like out in the serene, tranquil fucking swamp, and you're just fucking.
It'd be fun for 10 minutes. After the first fish, I think it turns.
Just turn the music off. It just has the Killing Floor 2 soundtrack.
Die, motherfucker! Die, motherfucker!
Oh,
die.
we could put Metal Gear music in there for you instead if you want.
Yeah, that'd be dope. In fact, if you put Metal Gear Solid music in any game, I'd probably buy it. So, just because I like that
I'm
soundtrack
gonna do
a
that
lot.
if I ever make a game. Just it's nothing to do with Metal Gear Solid whatsoever. Just some cutesy little game. And just gonna put Metal Gear Solid track in it.
You could also put Silent Hill music in it.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, if that trailer had him just sitting there, it's fucking dun 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 dun. I'd be like, holy shit, this is epic. That guy's just standing there wasting his life and just fucking to this music. It means something. There's purpose. Outside of the music, you were talking a little bit. Your impressions. Obviously, you hate fishing games, but any merits to it?
I don't necessarily hate fishing games. They don't necessarily catch my interest per se. There's only been one that I actually enjoyed watching someone else play, and it was Real Fishing back for the PlayStation. But the only thing that ever piques my interest about fishing games like this is that if you can have, this is going to be really stupid, but if you could have an aquarium where you can collect the fish that you've caught and like
Animal Crossing.
Yeah, make their tanks all like different for their scenario or for their living spaces.
I would be so into that actually.
I like that kind of stuff. Yeah. But the other aspects of it, like going out there and just sitting there and catching fish over and over again, is not very appealing to me.
Yeah, I like how one of the comments on this video is Noctis a playable character?
They're making their own fishing game. All right.
You did see their other VR game got called. They decided that it's a tech demo and we won't get our hands on it.
Man, I wish
the shooting one.
Man, I wish fish were real. Yeah, me too, buddy.
I mean, eventually we're heading to Ghost in the Shell, so there won't be real fish anymore. So get used to it.
Man, people are pretty serious about this. No one's really making any more jokes. Where you at, Xbox Squad? They don't exist. Actually, I need to stop saying that because we had a video where we were talking about demographics of Xbox. We're not even talking shit. We're just like looking at statistics on who plays Xbox. We got fucking downvotes on that thing. It's like people were just pissed we weren't saying anything about who plays Xbox.
Well, and
they're talking shit about me.
I'm not gonna name anyone, but when we went to Chris's for the housewarming party, you asked that, or you were talking with that one guy about games. And he asked you what you played on. And you said PlayStation. He gave you oh,
at the party.
Yeah, that was weird.
Yeah, no, he plays on Xbox, and we were talking about stuff and
plays what on Xbox?
Battlefield 1. He plays Battlefield 1 on Xbox. We were talking for a split second, and he's like, "What games do you play?" I'm like, "Okay, we got to stop there because I play a lot of games. What games do you play? Because I probably have them." And he's like, "Battlefield 1." I'm like, "Oh, cool." I was like, "Yeah, me too. I love Battlefield 1." He's like, "What are you playing on?" I'm like, "PS4." He's like. The guy who plays on Xbox looked at me like that. One of the 10 people who own Xboxes stared at me, or actually actively plays them. I own one of those relics. It's in my room. He fucking stared at me like I was a piece of shit, and I was like, "What? What do you do? What are we doing here?" It's like if you're like, "Do you like music?" "Yeah, I love music." "You like music?" "Yeah." Is that weird? Yeah, so that was an eye opener. I think he's the one who downvoted us, and I think he actually might be watching the channel now. So,
I will say though that it's been a while since I've seen any and I would say this very loosely, good fishing games that have really good graphics and things like that. So this is a nice update for those of you who enjoy those sporting games. Just there hasn't been much out there than these weird rinky-dink shitty little games here and there.
I mean, hell, the best the golfing game I've seen in years was a little indie one that I bought on PS4, and it's really detailed. Mm-hmm. So, but yeah, I haven't touched a golfing game before that since maybe Hot Shots. Mm-hmm. So
this golfing game I played was the one where you fucking have to shoot the golf ball and break everything in the room.
Oh yeah, I did a video on that one.
Yeah. It was kind of fun, but also kind of chaotic. Remind me of that mode in Burnout where you just launched your car into shit and tried to do as much damage as
Thought it was
possible.
the same people.
I think it is the same
Yeah.
people, actually. Yeah. They need to make a game, and if you steal this, fucking, I'm talking about
Royalties.
right now, so royalties, where you play as the fish and you got to dodge the hooks, and they're floating around, and it's got that soundtrack that.
Or make it to where like
And the whole time your fish just has a fucking face like this.
you can't see the lures; they just look like food to you.
Yeah, I was gonna say you have a hunger meter, and the lower your hunger meter gets, the more likely your fish will
You gotta take those
automatically
risks.
go towards hooks.
And then there's like maybe
be
a
fun
thing every
for
once in a
5
while
minutes,
with
but
a
yeah.
with a fucking cooldown, but you can hit it and it kind of gives you hints on which ones might be. the
You know, a
bad
game
ones.
that you played as kind of a fish creature.
Seaman.
Seaman.
I knew we were going there.
Great game.
Make a multiplayer. 3 people are fish, 1 person's fisherman.
Yeah, it could be like that fucking Dead by Daylight game.
Can I be an arapaima and jump out of the water and hit the fisherman?
You can be whatever the fuck you
Just
want.
give him a concussion.
If that's a name.
I've seen river monsters. It happens.
Or those giant tunas that just jump in people's boats.
Yeah, just
Save me. They're like, yeah, we're gonna save you. You are a big tuna. We don't want you. All right, yeah, fishing. We talked about fishing. That's weird. So yeah, we're gonna talk about or watch what you guys are probably watching for Monster Hunter. They've released for Monster Hunter World a video called Hunting 101 and another video called Wild Spire Waste trailer. So we're gonna watch those. If you missed our impressions of earlier trailers, we have done, I think, all of the ones for Monster Hunter World so far. Make sure to go back and watch those. So yeah, we are gonna watch this in 3, 2, 1, go.
Hello again, Greenhorn, and welcome to Hunting 101.
I'm not a greenhorn.
To select a quest, visit your handler. Her book contains various intel on the mission parameters and the voracious beast you're going
Like
to
the
slay.
animation.
At least she's not like that weird, like, quiety, cutesy, wootsy guild girl anymore.
Yeah.
The smell of dense jungle and the sight of unexplored territory may seem
God, it
daunting,
just looks amazing.
but take
Yep.
a moment to grab any essential items you may need from your
so
kit
excited for this
before
fucking
embarking
game.
on
It
your
feels like you're
adventure.
just walking into
I
Uncaged
suggest
Jurassic Park,
taking the
Yeah.
heat.
which, like, fucking is amazing for me.
So how lush it is too.
Now
Yeah.
the time has come to hunt your prey. Use your scout flies to
Wait, you
find
hunt
clues
things in
and
this?
tracks,
No.
which will help you zero in on your
This is a
target
fishing
location.
simulator.
The flies hunt. You just kill.
You avoid the fish hooks.
Yes.
There's our target. Time to take him down.
Get him in the
Show
sack.
him what hunters are made of.
Damn. doing
Stellar
dirty.
work, Hunter. You've completed your quest.
Crouch to
Now
carve.
time to carve the
Come on.
monster for materials and parts. It's rather gruesome work, if you ask me.
Yeah, when you're down there chopping his dick off.
There's
no need for that.
Materials and loot for you to collect. It's time to visit our fine friend, the
That's cool
Smithy.
looking.
The Smithy
Yeah.
uses the resources gathered on your quest to upgrade and forge powerful
I like
new
that.
gear and
It's a
armor.
good.
The
Oh.
visual style.
With a plethora of weapons, trees, and armor sets available,
Can you go back and pause that?
it is truly up to you how you wish to progress
No.
further.
Sub-Zero up here in the top.
With a mustache.
There's the bone armor.
I like the Cossack armor.
Yeah. I like the
Привет.
pirate-looking armor.
This one? The red one?
Go to the left.
I really like this blue one at the bottom left, yeah.
This one's the high metal. That's the Rathian.
That high metal one looks like it's out of fucking Dark Souls.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah.
Or Berserk.
That's the
Pretty much same thing,
Rathalos.
Yes, but that one. What is that one, Chris?
Wow, that was in my fucking brain.
There's another one of the metal ones. They're like literally called like something metal ones. I think that might be your starting armor.
I think that's Jet.
Yeah.
I'm good if you guys are.
Pretty cool. This is exciting.
Uh-huh.
Weapons, trees, and armor sets available. It is truly up to you how you wish to progress further in Monster Hunter World. Now bestow fresh gear boasting new abilities and strengths It's time to embark once
You know what I am
again
glad about?
and take on deadlier monsters.
That at least for like most of this
How will
combat
you
stuff, they're only
choose
showing
to
off the
embark
one
on your
map.
heroic
Yeah.
adventure?
Because I would hate if they showed off the entire game.
I like how the
Oh, look.
flagship monsters are Vulturosaurus Rex.
The beginning of a year again.
We're getting close though, man. Early
Wow.
2018.
I want it now.
I want it done and made well. But yes, I also want it now. If you can
Capcom.
do that now, that'd be great.
Capcom.
Impressions on that video. Awesome, right? Dope. I love and we've talked about it before already, but I like how they've streamlined things so you don't have to keep going back to the hub.
Yeah.
Obviously, it's kind of like a quintessential thing to the Monster Hunter experience, but it does kind of slow the I want to get in there and get shit done. You can always go back and maybe, group up, party up with people, shit like that.
Sure.
I know you can do it here too, but I am glad that you can just stay in there and keep going. So it's a really cool thing to see that you can even have her pull out that book and pick missions, shit like that, on the map. Also, getting to see the armors was neat.
Yeah.
Because we've so far seen a lot of that map, like you've already said, a couple of the monsters and combat, which all look great. But to see potentially what you can end up unlocking, and I think most of those armors are really fucking cool looking, which is good because I'd be really upset if I looked at most of them like, I'm not playing that.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, second video, which is
It's a new area.
Looks like it, yeah.
Wildspire Waste trailer, which we're gonna watch right now. Looks like a desert. Looks like coral, which is interesting.
So it's really cold at night and really hot during the day. Ants. Ew.
Soup, dip.
That was a Brachios?
Oh, that's neat.
Yeah, the Brachios is back. That thing has armor like a mofo. I like how it looks more like it's actually covered in mud now, though.
Yeah. Actually, always that's fucking crazy looking.
Yeah.
Looks so much better.
It does. I have no idea what that is.
I don't want to fight things in fucking neck deep water.
Oh! What is that thing? It's a dodo. Oh!
I like I was like holding it like this is
Dude,
mine.
the fucking animations are so good.
They're so good.
Oh, wow.
This game is fucking dope.
Oh my.
Oh, that was a Diablos.
So note to self, any games I have any intention on playing before this comes out, I
better
need to
finish it
play,
now.
Game of the month every month next year will be Monster Hunter World.
Nice hammer attack. Oh.
I love that they're not just like taking Monster Hunter from the portable and just throwing it on here. Like this is like a fucking this is next level fucking Monster Hunter.
I just want
Yeah.
that dodo.
I know, right? Oh.
I love that they fight too.
Yeah.
And they actually like, grab each other and shit.
Is that a
Damn,
devil's-
that was a fucking
is
trailer,
that a
man.
devil yo?
I'll also be excited.
Oh,
Sausage!
Yes.
give him a hot dog, baby. That's too big for him.
One thing I always liked in the other Monster Hunter games is that there's always like that monster that's so big that you're fighting on like a part of its body. I really hope that they do that because at
What is
the
it
graphical
called?
level of this, that would be amazing.
Yeah, the one that's in the sand, like from the last one.
Yeah, you're on the boat or what, the sand boat or whatever. Yeah, that was cool.
That was a good one.
Oh yeah, I remember watching that when I was thinking about buying a Wii U, and if I wanted to get Monster Hunter for that.
And you jump on its back, and eventually you go to like this final showdown where it's like coming at you.
Yep. So yeah, that was really cool.
Yeah, and it's cool to see like an actual like trailer to get you pumped for it.
I also like the little like teases of different bosses without showing too much of it. So.
I also really like that hammer attack you're talking about, where he's just
It's hammer time.
knocking him in the fucking head over and over again.
Yeah.
Yeah, pretty cool. So you guys want to talk about the topic, or
I think we probably should.
Okay. So, probably should. So, we're going to be talking about our favorite MMOs. Obviously, there's a lot of them. We've all been playing them for a long time. I think we're all pretty well-rounded, too. I mean, I've played a shitload of MMOs. I don't even play specific ones as much as you guys do. Yeah, so we'll be talking about that. Just to be specific, we're talking about MMOs, free-to-play, pay-for, faux MMOs as we call them, but they are called MMOs by most people, which is your more like lobby-based 4-player co-op MMOs like Phantasy Star,
Warframe,
Vindictus,
etc.
Warframe. Fuck, Warframe's on this?
I know, it's hard.
Okay. I'm going to skip that one just because we talk about it all the time anyway.
Right?
Yeah, who wants to go first?
Well, before we go, we're doing 3, you said, I remember that, but are we want to maybe just take turns then, starting from our number 3 and go up to 1 then?
Yeah, like we normally do.
Okay. So I'll go ahead and jump in then. My number 3 is Phantasy Star Online.
Is this from least to best?
Yes.
Okay. Mine will not be that, but okay.
Okay.
Phantasy Star Online,
Phantasy Star Online.
which is an honorable mention of mine.
I absolutely love the game. I can always revisit it and still enjoy playing it, even though it's like really simple in control scheme and stuff. So it shows to me that it's not just a nostalgia thing for me, because every time I play it, I'm having fun again.
Yeah.
I love the style. I love the way it plays. I love the Phantasy Star world. Even just having the 3 classes, you would normally think would just kind of like get boring and you'd just be done with it. But I can always go back and play and still, like I said a couple times now, enjoy myself. So.
Yeah, I mean, I agree with all that. That is kind of interesting how even when PSO first came out, it didn't look the best because it came out on Dreamcast originally.
Yep.
And it's been translated to other consoles and PC and all that shit. But that's a game that even now, going back to and looking at it, visually, I still like the way it looks. And even though it feels clunky, it almost feels like it's part of the gameplay and the way it plays. Kind of gives it a slower RPG feel versus a quick action feel, and it's still super fun, super charming. So it is a timeless game for sure. It's a game I could also go back and play. There's a shitload of content in that game too.
Yep. A
lot of locations, a lot of monsters to fight and enemies to fight. A lot of items, a lot of cool secret items you can get, and a lot of cool community stuff, which I love and something I miss in MMOs is community aspects of like having emotes and like chairs you can sit in and float around in and shit. You go into lobbies, there'd be like 80 people and everybody's just hanging out and talking and shit, and like you feel like the community is there for that game and not just people playing a fucking MMO to pass time. Yep. Something I really miss. So it's a really good pick. Did you ever play PSO? Ooh.
I didn't play the online one. I played all the. I had PSP, so I had one of the PSP games for it.
Gonna have to fix that, I think.
Yeah. So I think it had 4-player co-op, same screen.
It does.
Yeah.
It's also on PC, though. There's not really legit ways to get it anymore. It's still playable. So
yeah. It's a really good one. Chris.
So this is what I'm trying to shy away from ones I think that we've all would pick, just to try to break it up a little. They're not necessarily in order of like least to greatest. It's kind of hard for me to differentiate them because they all offer different things to what I'm looking for. But one that I've played a great deal of back in the day was called Forsaken World. And it's not a Secret World, it's Forsaken World. So it's like this more really heavily fantasy
free to play,
based.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I played it.
One of the classes you could be, which I played the most of, was a vampire. So you could be either a healer or DPS or like a CC DPS. You walk around with this gigantic fucking cross on your back. It's amazing. And there's like each race has their own special classes they can be. So like elves, I believe, can be the bards of the game, which are like healers, which is really bards support class. But it's been so long since I've played it that I really like thinking about it. I want to go back into it. I still have it on my computer.
Damn.
Just haven't played it in a long time. But it's very bright and colorful. It is an MMO, so like quests kind of get repetitive and there's some grinding, but When you're playing an MMO, that's what to expect.
Yeah, actually, I played that because for a while I played. I mean, like I said, I've played like every MMO almost, but like I played Perfect World for a while, and it's made by the same people, and that's their like darker, more macabre version of Perfect World. And I didn't play it a whole lot, but I played it, and I thought it was pretty neat. I always thought the whole Perfect World team, they make some pretty big MMOs. I mean, Perfect World is worldwide a huge MMO. So, but yeah, Forsaken World. I thought it was neat that that company can kind of produce that many fucking MMOs. I mean, you got to be pretty big if you can do that.
Yeah.
But I don't have enough. I don't have enough experience with it to really remember how much I really enjoyed it. I remember it being a lot like Perfect World.
Elves ride unicorns.
I actually think you just mentioned one that I haven't played, which I find kind of weird.
Yeah,
You should try it.
it's free to play.
Uh-huh.
I don't need another MMO to play right now, but bring it up, if I'm like, oh man, I'm hankering an MMO, then bring it up and I'll try it. So,
what the fuck is? What's that MMO that's like EverQuest? Fucking, I wish EverQuest Next would have came out. That would probably be on my list. I was just thinking about it randomly. I was like, favorite MMOs. Well, that one would have probably been one. I'm going to go with a really obvious one for me, even though they fucking burned me pretty bad. Guild Wars 2. Guild Wars 2, I think, is one of the most polished, well thought out, aside from its endgame content, fun to play MMOs ever made. I love the way it looks. I think it's graphically really good looking. I think the world is really well built and realized. I love the characters and classes. I love the combat. I think the combat's really fun. It kind of inspired a lot of MMOs now. And the way questing worked had a lot of freedom to the point where it got rid of monotony. It became monotonous over time because you always had those options, but the options were always different. You always had 5 different choices pretty much to do. When you do quests, which I like, it's changing it up from what MMOs do. And yeah, I mean, my biggest complaint about that game, and for a while I kind of fought against it, but this long in, I have to accept things. A lot of MMOs always try and emphasize end game content, which I get because you got to make the end game fun so people stick around. But a lot of people put so much emphasis into the end game that they don't make the journey from the beginning to end fun or that interesting. Everybody's just trying to get to the end. And I appreciate that Guild Wars wanted the whole experience to be fun, and they did that, in my opinion. It's one of the only MMOs I could play without people, which is important because MMOs are popular and fun for people to play because people like the community aspect.
Right.
So the gameplay is good enough that I could play a game alone. The reason I don't play Guild Wars 2 anymore is because ArenaNet decided at some point that my account should not exist anymore, and they deleted it. Now, I could probably hit them up and be like, what the fuck? But after getting hacked, having them restore my account, but all my shit not being restored, and I was already kind of like, oh, well, okay, I have a lot of work ahead of me. And then my account, a year later was just gone. I couldn't log in anymore. I was like, that's too much. I am not going to buy this game again. And an expansion just came out that introduced mounts and a whole new area. It looks really fucking cool. I won't buy it because I can't stay loyal to a company that allowed me to buy something from them and then deleted my shit. So it's disappointing, but it still is one of my favorite MMOs ever made.
I also lost my account, and I'm not so much upset about the Guild Wars part as much as I am I lost my Ion account in the process of that.
Ion, yeah, I love Ion.
Which I put a lot of time into, so I lost that, and that's really irritating. As far as Guild Wars...
It's the worst, like, with MMOs, because you fucking live in MMOs, and you spend a shitload of time. If you lose that, that's just so much fucking time you just lost.
If that happened to... And I don't even play the game anymore, but that happened to my World of Warcraft account, or even my Final Fantasy 14 account, I would... I'm not sure how I'd react. It wouldn't be good, though. I like Guild Wars 2. I don't love Guild Wars 2. I do agree that the journey through the game was done very well. Was thought out really well. I love the art style. I love the races and the locations and stuff like that. I did not find combat to be super great for me. I thought it was fun and it worked, but it didn't stand out to me too much. And I am one of those people that like I like going through the game, but I am looking forward to the end game. And when I got to that point and there was nothing but cosmetics to do, I was done and I shut the game off at that point. I haven't played it in a long time, so I don't know what the game's like now, and it could be better. But like,
Well, they have specializations now for your classes.
But
so.
like you brought up, they also deleted my account, so I am a little burnt. So
yeah,
I actually still have my account. I haven't logged into it
one of the lucky ones.
forever though, because like you guys said, the end game content wasn't there. It's all cosmetics. So I got there, journey was great and everything, but then it's just you're just kind of like,
yeah.
and I found it difficult to do dungeons. I guess I would call them dungeons because they don't have the
Trinity.
The Trinity. There's no tank. There's no healers. There's no DPS. Everybody just kind of does everything. And it was just really hard to get through those because it's just chaotic.
Well, and I agree with that mostly just because everyone you have to be like self-sustainable, but you still have to rely on people. So it's a really weird system in that regard.
I would say I did a lot of the dungeons and fucking there was always strategy going on, which I liked. Every once in a while, people would be emulating the Trinity anyway, just because they're so used to that and it makes sense. That's the thing with Guild Wars is like they deviated from all the standard things, which I think is great because that's one thing that fatigued me about MMOs is everybody's doing the same shit, and if it works, that's fine. Don't fucking fix it if it's not broken, but at the same time, you got to evolve it. And I think EverQuest Next would have evolved MMOs. It's so ambitious, they fucking just gave up. But yes, they got rid of the Trinity. I like that. But did it work? Kind of, depending on who you played with,
yes,
and shit like that. So it was a great idea that wasn't realized. Just like the end game, which it didn't lack an end game, it lacked traditional end game. They had an idea. It's not like they didn't make it. They made it in that way because they wanted the end dungeons, everybody to be on the same level, and in PvP they even made it so everybody's on the same playing field. Really good ideas, but I don't think they nailed it. They didn't do it in a way that kept us playing. I mean, as a guy who's defending it, I can't keep defending it because I did stop playing it. So obviously it lost my interest. I didn't want to keep fucking grinding to get visual stuff that looked really cool, but I wanted more from it. Right. So in their inability to nail that idea of getting rid of that end game, is what killed it for me. It's not so much that they changed it. I just wish they would have done it in a way that was a little more appealing, which it seems like they are doing now, which is so far down the road.
Yeah.
But hopefully they nail it. I mean, really am pissed. I
kind of get why the end game felt lackluster because they don't have the Trinity. They can't really do like really hardcore raids, which a lot of end game MMO or a lot of MMOs end game content is like raids. So it's really focused on the Trinity. Like the tank is the one focusing the boss down and having them threat on them. So it's really hard to make end game content like that without having a Trinity. That being said, I can't tell you how many times as a Mesmer I had to be the quote-unquote tank of the group because they're dodge tanks if you give them a sword and two swords. They just become dodge tanks. But even then, it doesn't feel
well,
like
like
it.
the big shield dudes too. There were
the paladins.
Yeah, people would use them as tanks and shit. Stuff like that. And yeah, they didn't have raids when we played. I don't know if they do now, but but they also emphasized 3 modes in the game, which was versus the game itself and then the world, which was really neat. But I'm a competitive dude, but I don't like competitive shit in MMOs. It doesn't do it for me. It just takes too long to sit there and burn people down and then maybe have a third person run in and just kill you while you're in the middle of a battle with somebody else. It gets frustrating after a while, even though I did think the PvP in Guild Wars 2 was more fun than most MMOs. But in the world or whatever, server or whatever thing, was a really, really cool idea. It just wasn't for me. And I think that's where they're trying to get that raid feeling. Because there's like literally people taking castles and like working on and shit and fighting other people and shit like that.
Which is funny.
Building trebuchets and shit like that.
It's a note from... I'm aging myself here. Dark Age Camelot.
Yeah.
Which had the realm versus realm combat, which was a different area with castles and stuff you took over, and then what if you owned the right things, the people from your country were empowered because of it. And they're neat ideas, but like you said, super time consuming.
Exactly, and I don't got that fucking time.
The other thing that's kind of weird for Guild Wars 2 for me, and I don't dislike the game. I enjoyed it. But I liked playing Guild Wars 1 more. I think that was the hard part for me.
Yeah, not me.
I cared for the story more in Guild Wars 1. I cared for my character more in Guild Wars 1. And it felt like I was progressing in that game. So,
Guild Wars 1, though, you fucking flew from level 1 to 20 instantly.
you did level fast, but then at 20,
And then you get
there
the
was,
outfits.
There was, and there was still a sense of progression because you were getting materials to make your armor better and stuff like that. So,
I love Guild Wars, so I'm not even going to talk shit about it anyway, but I definitely like Guild Wars 2. I think it's a more realized game. The original one, I mean, for a long time was even known as kind of like a test in systems to see how they could do things for Guild Wars 2. So, I mean, Guild Wars 1 is awesome, but Guild Wars 2 is like a grand-scaled MMO, full-on MMO with open world, all that shit. I think it's just a cornucopia of fucking experimental and great ideas, and some things didn't hit as well as I wanted them to.
If they made a Guild Wars 3 and say it was more along the lines of more traditional MMOs, that they added the Trinity back into it, would you buy it?
They make Guild Wars 3, I'll buy it regardless, just because I want it. But if there was things they were going to do, I'd want it to be just like Guild Wars 2, better looking, new areas, brand new classes, and shit like that. But and the changing world, which another thing I think is amazing about Guild Wars. But I think they should humor the Trinity and look into it a little bit. I appreciate what they're doing because I like the idea that you don't have to be something if you don't want to. It gives you a freedom that most MMOs don't give you. But they would have to do a fucking end game in some way that's more than cosmetic. But in their lessons, it seems like they've already moved in that direction. I mean, so many games are like, we're not going to do this, and they do it. Ion's like, no fucking... They weren't going to do mounts like that for a while, and then they did them. Didn't they? What game said that? There's some games like, we're not doing mounts, and then fucking they ended up doing it. I don't know, I remember. But they also said that with Guild Wars, too, because there's fast travel, which is something I think ruins a lot of games like that, because the journey is lost.
I ain't got time for that shit. Give me that now.
I like games that kind of you have to go to a hub or discover the place first before you can go.
Final Fantasy
yeah,
14
yeah.
does that.
Stuff like that.
Yeah.
But yeah, because I feel like you don't get to experience the world. That's one thing that ruined Skyrim for me was fucking. After a while, I wasn't even walking anywhere. I was just like, burr, 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 game beat. I'm like, all right, fuck you, bye. But yeah, anyway, we can talk about Guild Wars 2 all fucking day, and that's why I love it, because there's so much to talk about with that game. It's different than a lot of MMOs. In fact, one of my other MMOs on here is also very different. So I'm done talking about Guild Wars 2. We'll go with you again.
Me
Your
again?
second one, yeah.
Oh, goodness. So again, not in any particular order of favorites or things like that. But I'm just going to say it because I play it a lot, but Warframe. I play so much Warframe.
Yep.
And it's a hub-based game. You know, we talk about it a lot on this channel, but...
The channel favorite.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
I can't get enough of it. Every day I play every day for a couple hours every single day. I don't have to pay anything for it. It's amazing.
Yeah, when I'm in my Warframe groove, I'll play it daily, but I always fall into an area where I have too many games, and I stop playing, and I come back to it. So,
That's where I'm at right now.
yeah. I mean, that would probably, if we were specifically talking about like favorite like faux MMOs or cooperative games, that would be my number one, 100%. And it should be in my top 3, but I'm deviating because I'm trying to go into the long history of MMOs and shit.
Right.
But absolutely. I mean, we talk about Warframe all the fucking time. Almost every episode. So, I mean, almost as much as we talk about Xbox not having games. So, I mean, it's kind of a meme for the channel at this point.
I've also not have Warframe on mine just because. So.
Yeah.
Even though, very obviously, is one of the best MMOs in my opinion.
And in my opinion, the best free play game made. I don't think you can beat it. I mean, you could, but you have to try. You have to try as hard as DE does. I mean, they fucking work their asses off.
Oh yeah,
and make so much fucking content from a game that should have never been as good as this game is. So, yeah, Warframe's awesome in every way. I mean, it's a beautiful game. It's got a shitload of content. So much content.
Constant new ideas.
Constant new content, constant new ideas too. I mean, these fuckers are like this game's not stagnant. It should have been because originally the original concept, but they fucking evolved it, and it's awesome. a lot of stuff to keep you coming back with crafting and getting resources and all the characters, all the cosmetics, all the fucking weapons, all the pet shit. Like there's just so much to Warframe.
So many resources.
That can be daunting for somebody who just gets into the game. I mean, we've introduced the game to multiple people, and most of the time they'll look at it. As soon as they get to the modding section, there's like, I don't know if I like this game. Like, you will. You just got to learn that. Like, or hit the fucking auto mod button, which they're always like, I know you can do that. I'm like, well, you can't. Use that until you figure it out.
Yeah.
Don't let that detract.
1.5 million spores.
That's a lot of spores.
Yeah.
That's a lot of spores.
And that's just one resource. I have so much.
Yeah, I'd have to look at mine. I got to a point where fucking anytime I'm crafting something, it's like, you need this. I'm like, dude, I could do this for days. I have so much of that shit. And you probably have more because you're actively playing right now. So.
And I have prime extractors.
Yeah. Prime extractors.
So when they did when they re-released Frost and Ember Prime, if you bought the bundle, which was really cheap for them, it was $60 for both of them and all their weapons and stuff. They also gave you a pattern for a prime extractor, so it's a higher chance of getting rare or more.
Really?
Yeah.
I think I have that.
And I don't know if this is just a thing, but mine never break. Like, they're always at 100%. Like, I don't have to keep making them. So I made 15 in anticipation that I would have to, like, keep making them because they lose durability. But nope. I'm still at 15, just sitting there, and I can only do 3 at a time.
I would say I only have 3 extractors, and I never worry about it because if one of them, or I have 4, I'm sorry. When one gets low, I just don't use it for a little bit because they'll repair themselves.
Yeah.
So.
Nope, I made a shit ton of them, and that's got no use.
I need to craft those because I have extractors or whatever, but I always get bullshit from them. So
I just do Mercury, Venus, and Jupiter. I think I do those 3 just over and over and over again. That's all I ever extract from.
Yeah, there's at least 2 that I know I do constantly because the rare resource there is something I'm always needing.
I don't even remember where mine are at
I
this
do
point.
Mercury and Venus because I need the polymer bundles. That's the ones that's the resource I use the most of.
Yeah, it's not me. I think it's like neural sensors for one, Orokin cells, and then I'm forgetting my resources. It's another one of the rarer ones though. Anyways, yeah. But yeah, Warframe definitely.
Yeah, that's an easy one. I mean, I literally avoided it just because and I'm not saying you should have done that. I'm just saying, like, I avoided it because I figured it was going to come up, and it makes sense. And we like I said, we talk about it fucking every episode almost. So, yeah, good pick, obviously. Chevy, second pick.
So, depending on what aspect of the game I'm talking about, it either becomes my second favorite or my most favorite MMO. But it's Final Fantasy XI. I spent a long time in that game. It was the first MMO I played where I didn't need to play with people. In fact, I played with a lot of Japanese players a lot of the time, just because I was just enjoying the game. So the communication aspect, it didn't matter if it was broken or not, because I just had a good understanding of my role in the game and how it's played. I love the locations in that game. I think it's one weak point, and it does have like characters, and I've discussed this with you before, but its amount of like characters, like storyline wise, that are like, you know, notable are way low. Yeah, Shanna Toto is a huge one, but the game's super dated now, so it's really hard to get back into for people. Though I do know they added the ability to have NPC party members now, so you can completely solo the whole game. And I know that a guy I watch on YouTube who plays nothing but Final Fantasy games, if you're familiar, you probably know who he is, but he recently, in 2 weeks, from level 1 to the end of the entire storyline of the game. So I might try that sometime. I probably won't be able to do it in 2 weeks. I don't professionally stream for a living like this guy does, but yeah, just to get the story before the servers, because I don't know how long the game's going to be up at this point, even though they seem to be doing fine. So.
Yeah, it's crazy. It's still going. Yeah, Final Fantasy XI is not an MMO that I particularly enjoyed playing, but it's an MMO I respect because I think it's a really well made and well realized MMO, and it was really neat to see Square at the time dive into that area and still maintain that Final Fantasy spirit, which they've translated into 14 as well. And I mean, it's super solid, very, very Japanese in its leveling, even though I'm sure that's been changed over time. But I remember taking a long time to level.
Yeah, it was pretty. I remember being happy if I got a level a day.
But those games are always good for people who are into that, though. Some people like that journey and feeling accomplishment. I'm impatient, so I like a game that fucking is constantly patting me on the back and telling me I'm doing great.
Here's a cookie.
Yeah, exactly. I love that. It doesn't even have to be easy. I just need it to be like, you're getting there.
Good job.
Yeah, like, haha, nice. But yeah, Final Fantasy 11 is really cool. Like I said, out of all the big MMOs out there, even like World of Warcraft, I'm not a big fan of, but I respect the game a lot. Final Fantasy 11 is definitely there as well, and like the great MMOs in my opinion. So, yeah.
I played a little bit of Final Fantasy 11 back
Really?
when it was back when it was starting
played a lot.
to curl off. And I didn't know anybody else who played it at the time, so I had a horrible experience. Only because trying to level, I was doing it all by myself, and that is not a game that you can do by yourself at the time.
Not at the time, no.
And I was playing as a monk because I wanted to be a samurai, and I figured because I played a lot of tactics, I was like, okay, do monk, and then eventually it'll lead to samurai at some point. I know it will. And I really disliked, but I get it, but still dislike it, that if you die, you lose experience.
I always thought it was funny people complained about that.
Huh?
I always thought it was funny people complained about that.
That's horrible.
That was like a lot of old MMOs did that though.
I mean, it's not even that you lose experience. You can actually like de-level.
Yeah.
I thought it was great because,
I actually felt like a game.
well, and it made people pay attention.
Yeah.
There's a lot of things that game did that really emphasized good teamwork. Mm-hmm. And I really appreciate that because especially in almost every other MMO I've ever played in my life, you can have a shitty person in your group and it's easy to carry them. You bitch about it, but it's usually not that detrimental. If one person fucked up in Final Fantasy 11, sometimes you could carry them, but a lot of times it was like they didn't get to stick around much. They weren't going to probably be playing much longer because no one was going to invite that person anymore. So it really emphasized you wanted to be part of the game. You wanted to get better.
Yeah, so. The way you're describing that, though, I get why you would get rid of that, because that sounds really elitist, which Final Fantasy 11 was elitist, for sure. And those communities are very, like, get the fuck out of here, newbie, type shit.
It wasn't newbie unfriendly. It was people who are unwilling to, like, try to be better.
Assholes and WoW,
So
not friendly.
Here's how much I wanted to play that game and be good at that game. I bought the guidebook, the official licensed guidebook for the game that had macros listed in it, so you could just plug them in. And I tried to read everything and study all of it, and I still I couldn't get past like level 10.
yeah, early Final Fantasy 11's wall, I would say, is if you didn't get to 20, you probably weren't going to continue playing.
Yeah, that's one of those games that you can't just jump into. Like, you got to invest. You gotta realize the dream that is Final Fantasy 11.
And poor tutorial. Like,
Yeah.
it really
Yeah.
does not hold your hand. So.
No.
My greatest memory of Final Fantasy 11, though, was outside of this town. There was always this group of Japanese people that didn't speak English, and they're all those little fat guys.
Lalafels?
What are they called back then?
Tartars.
Yeah,
Tartars.
tartars. All these fat little tartars. They all look the same, and they're all sitting there fishing off this cliff.
Oh,
And they're all speaking in Japanese. They're there every fucking day, and I'd always leave the town, run over there, and just look at them, and they'd like always just like try and just look at me, and they say shit in Japanese. I'm like, and I start like dancing. And they're just like, and then they go back to fishing. I'm like, all right, I'll see you guys later. I always check on them every day. I'm like, these guys still alive? Hopefully they're getting fish. I don't want them to starve.
If I understand it right, too, the crafting was really difficult because you would get crafting bonuses at certain days, at certain times, and certain signs were aligned in certain areas, and you had to fucking feather up your ass while you were dancing on top of a spindle to make a level 2 item.
Yeah.
The game definitely had a lot of complex systems, which not new player friendly, and but I think rewarding once again because you'd learn. I mean, even like your chocobo, right? Once you got it, had a level that was it was not listed anywhere. People just kind of figured it out eventually. The crafting was the same way. People learned, okay, when this star's out, type thing, fire crystals succeeded more often and stuff like that. So, and a lot of that could just be wise tales, but like it was pretty widely believed.
Fly, man.
Right.
I don't know. I love the
Final Fantasy 11 is literally, it came out in a time where they were, because like Square Enix wasn't making MMOs, so they were trying to make a Final Fantasy MMO, and so they incorporated things that people would not complain about if it's in a single player RPG. The de-leveling thing would be a punishment for dying, something to keep you from doing it. It's not as welcome in MMO because there's that social aspect. Everybody wants to be leveling together, and now that you fucked up, you're getting put behind your friends. So that's why people are going to be upset about that most likely. And then secondly, like that crafting system, if that was in like some RPG, some JRPG that came out, people would be like, oh, it's neat, you got to craft it. But then you're playing an MMO where everybody's progressing together, so you want to keep up with everybody, and you might have some weird shit going on with your stuff. The other people have their weird, it's unsyncing, it's not syncing up with other people in the community aspect. So even though I think they're great ideas or whatever, I feel like stuff like that has died out of MMOs because of games like WoW and everything else that have streamlined the experience of just the general progression. I think those things are neat ideas, they're nuances that are the things that attract me to games like Guild Wars and like Secret World, because they have ideas that people aren't doing. Like Secret World had shit you actually had to fucking figure out. That's typically not a thing in MMOs. We actually have to read stuff and look for clues and solve puzzles.
Right.
And those things normally, for the people who want that streamlined MMO experience, are not going to be as attractive to you. But they do have their crowds because you're interacting with the game. You're actually playing a video game and not just running forward and progressing. Yeah. So
and that's something I miss in MMOs in general.
I agree.
You don't live in them anymore.
Yeah, no, it's all about getting that level and getting that gear, which is fine because I love that shit. But that's Call of Duty, in my opinion.
I think part of that, though, is because of the people who are the demographic that play MMOs, mostly our age bracket. We've gotten to the point in our lives where we don't have the time to live in MMOs anymore.
Yeah.
We have to work, and we have lives, and more responsibilities to take care of. So to get that feeling of a good MMO again, we kind of need a more streamlined experience, I think, because otherwise we're just kind of get stuck and we'll get annoyed or bored or upset about it.
Yeah, there's a lot of elements, and that'd be an interesting thing to talk about. I mean, we're talking about right now, but like MMOs evolved, and a lot of that also has to do with the popularity and the money aspect of MMOs. When they're growing, everybody started fucking just spewing out MMOs, and I think that took away a lot of the ideas and the passion of making a big open world game versus we got to make an MMO. It was like when Call of Duty Modern Warfare got popular, everybody started making more Modern Warfare type games. Fucking Medal of Honor, which was a great series, turned into Modern Warfare. Battlefield turned into Modern Warfare. They did a better job at it than other people, but like there's a bunch of games out there that start doing it and they all felt soulless. I feel like the same thing happened with MMOs because there used to be games with these fucking ideas that were distinguishing and individual, and so now like when I see games that still do that slightly, even though they're all going to follow a certain structure, I always applaud that. I mean, I'm going to mention Secret World again, but like it is an original feeling MMO. In a lot of ways. In fact, that's one of my honorable mentions I was going to mention. I'm talking about right now, so that's one of my honorable mentions. It almost made my list. I just haven't played it as much as my favorites. But yeah, there's something about the older MMOs like
That's
11
on our
and
list,
stuff.
right?
It is.
Yeah. And they just came out, or they're coming out with the redux of how it plays and shit.
It's already
so I'm
listed
curious.
on Steam as their updated version.
Yeah, and I want to play it. So once that comes up, I will be playing that because I actually really like Secret World. I almost thought about putting it as one of my favorites. I just have not played it as much. I've played a shitload of it.
I'm not opposed to forcing one game out of the list to play for a month.
Ooh. I'm a little opposed to that.
Wait, what?
He's talking about picking off the list instead of
Just
randomly.
once.
Oh,
Just once.
Yeah.
I'm a little opposed to that.
And then there'll be another time,
Nope.
and then there'll be
Nope.
chaos.
Nope.
People will be screaming.
Nope.
Yeah. So we probably talk about this for a while. That game actually brought up a lot for me, just in MMOs in general, because I may remember the MMOs used to actually have like a spirit and an individuality to them, and now it's more of which one is the funnest, most streamlined game.
So do you think on the plus side, as far as story goes, Final Fantasy 11 is being turned into a mobile game? I've seen the Japanese version played, and it is not the same game, but the story is there and the world is there.
Is it an MMO?
No, It is a mobile game.
Well, yeah, but there's mobile MMOs. There's shitloads.
So kind of. So you go to a map and you'll see monsters, but you might see a player sitting next to the monster, and if you run up to that monster, you'll join their party for that fight.
That's weird. Why are they doing that?
Just,
Why 11?
I don't know.
Must be the market over
It
there.
might be an indicator that they're going to shut down this game server soon, and they want you to, if you want to continue playing that storyline, to get the mobile game.
But yeah,
Maybe.
it still has like the class system and all that stuff. You're not like wandering around in an open world like you do in MMOs, and it's got like a more cartoony style. I'll see if I can find a screenshot of it real quick while you.
Going to mine?
Yep.
My second one? Okay, so my second pick is a weird one. I really don't think I keep thinking, like, why am I picking this one? But I actually, like, I played a shitload. I really enjoyed it. And again, it has something to offer that's different than MMOs. My second pick is Neverwinter, which is a free-to-play MMO. In some ways, it is a very streamlined, straightforward process. But I actually really enjoyed all the classes in the game. I think they're really fun to play. It has a pseudo action / MMO feel to it that works. Sometimes these don't work. Like Terra, I was not a fan of Terra.
Oh god.
That game was pretending to be an action MMO, but it's just an MMO with weird controls. But Neverwinter did it. But the big thing about Neverwinter that I liked is they constantly supported it. I mean, when it first came out, I got to fucking max level faster than I've ever done in any MMO. And it wasn't because it's fast and easy. I just fucking couldn't stop playing it. In fact, I'd like to return to it. But their whole make your own missions thing is a fucking genius idea that I want more games to do. Not just MMOs, but games in general. It's fucking genius to let people make content for your game. It allows people who are creative to get that out and fucking express themselves and make cool content. It gives people who want to keep playing the game new content that's not dependent on the developer, and having incentives of being able to, like, you know, vote for your favorite missions, and I think you could tip them, stuff like that. It was a really, really cool idea that I really think people need to be stealing that, because it's awesome. As for, like, you know, the world, stuff like that, I like the locations wherever. The game is slightly linear as compared to other MMOs, but I just really enjoyed the journey from like 1 to like 50 or 60, whatever the cap was when I played it, and I had fun playing with you and Josh. And yeah, I think it was a really, really solid MMO. Like I said, it's weird that I'm picking it, but like when I think of MMOs I've enjoyed, I really enjoyed Neverwinter, and it's a game I'd probably go back to.
What class did you play the most of?
The Control Wizard.
I don't
Not
know
ringing
the
a bell.
class, but I know I played like the rogue.
Yeah.
That's what I played too.
The PvP was also fun. It's probably one of the only MMOs I enjoyed the PvP in.
It's probably because it's the action-oriented game.
Yeah. I liked being able, because the Control Wizard, whatever the fuck it's called, if you remember the actual name, I'm pretty sure it's pretty close to that though. Let me know in the comments. But in PvP, she was awesome because you could lift people up, like force choke them, and they'd be in the air, and people could attack them, and they took damage anyway. She also had a force push too, and then she had like a dodge button or whatever. So like in combat, I would typically like grab the person and then fucking throw them off the cliff, and they'd have to like run back and shit. And I just felt like I actually could create a strategy that I could actually move the characters and stuff like that.
You get to control the battlefield.
Yeah, and it was really fun. And they added other types of wizards too, which I think is really neat, because a lot of MMOs just kind of go like, this is a sorcerer, this is a wizard.
They have the advantage
Final
of being...
Fantasy has a lot of wizards though.
Yeah. They have the advantage of being Dungeons and Dragons.
Exactly.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
there's this like just long list of classes that they can go off of, and it's just cool that like this specific wizard type is not like fireball. It's like this one grabs you and fucking moves you and shit, which I thought was really neat. But yeah, I don't know. I really like Neverwinter. I don't even play it anymore, and I fucking. In fact, that should be on our list. I don't know if it is or not.
I'll double check. I think it is on there though, but if not, I'll add it. So I'm with you 100%. I love that game. It was probably one of the most enjoyable leveling experiences in a game. The combat is a lot of fun. I have a real attachment to Dungeons and Dragons, anyways, and
Yeah.
I loved being able to, especially because I like reading specifically like the Ari Salvatore books and stuff like that, and getting to see that stuff and be able to interact with it, and even like going to like the Underdark and stuff like that. I just like, it was so cool. It had a normal end game too, which was nice. And because the combat was different though, you still got that end game experience, but you're the game was fun to play, so you didn't really have to worry about that in that regard. Had tiered armor systems and stuff like that. My biggest complaints about the game is, and I've heard it from Josh, and actually I logged into it and checked. They have really done some really weird things to like kind of like incentivize you to pay for things, and their payments are so high for things.
That was my big thing too. Is like I got to the point in that game where I was like loving it so much that I wanted to buy shit in it, which is what they want me to do. But I started looking at the prices, and they were so fucking steep. It was insane. There was nothing you could get. Like I don't even mind like buying like something for $10 here, $15 here, but everything was like fucking like $40 and $60.
I remember the
like,
Founders
way
Pack
too
was
much.
$300.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So that's the big downfall of that game. For
very
me.
money hungry in that regard. But I would also like to go back and play that at some point, because and I'm actually like half tempted to like start from the beginning again, just to kind of go through it and refamiliarize myself with the game and stuff like that. Yeah, I had a lot of fun with it. Though I don't know if I would go back and play it by myself, so we'd all have to be on board.
Well, that's
So
what I was asking.
I
if
think Game of the Month would be the only way to do that.
Yeah. Because like I said, I just the way the game plays and playing with people was fun. It was like that's the big thing for me. Like I enjoy MMOs, I enjoy the idea of MMOs, but I always prefer MMOs, and obviously it's subjective. But MMOs that I could play by myself, or I just like the experience of playing with people. I don't know, like there's some MMOs where you're just like go kill fucking. Some of those Korean MMOs. Go kill fucking 68 of those fluffy
You're
bunnies.
talking old school, free to play,
and
games,
you just go out there and you're just like. I'm like, this isn't fun. The thing that's driving me is I want to level and I want to get new gear. Whereas like playing Neverwinter, I was like that. I actually enjoy dodging around and fucking hitting shit.
Yeah.
It was a great game when I played it. I played it back when it first launched. I played a rogue. I played by myself too, so. It was really weird because I'm used to playing with groups of people that I know. So playing by myself, I got to end game and I just kind of got bored at that point. I was like, well, what am I going to do now? But I find it really interesting for the tools that it offers you, with specifically this dungeon creator. It's kind of like if you play D&D, you can be the GM, or the DM, excuse me, and make the dungeons physically in the game, and then have your friends play these dungeons and have a whole storyline within the game. It's just kind of like fleshed out Dungeons and Dragons for you. That way you don't have to worry about rolling character sheets and making all these stats and things like that. It's all there ready to go. It's just a streamlined version of D&D, which a lot of people I think would really enjoy, because I've tried playing D&D and it's very complicated. Lots of rule books.
Can be really
Yeah.
complicated.
It's always nice
Especially
when you play
when
with someone who
I
just
play.
knows shit.
Because I don't know shit and I always want to do weird things.
Oh, me too. Same boat. Can I do this? Wow.
Hey, yeah, it takes a flexible DM. That's the challenge. It's not the playing that's the challenge. It's finding someone who can be open to anything happening.
I lit a room on fire with a bunch of spider webs. Just spider webs, fire, and the whole thing goes. It was great.
Yep. Well, and that's the beauty of pen and paper, though, is that if you have someone running the game who is open, you should be able to do whatever you want, whether the consequences are good or bad.
Right.
Generally have the bad luck of having someone who, this is the path you're going to take, and I'm going to do whatever I can to annoy you to make you go to this path anyways. And that's something I know me and Seth run into a lot.
Yeah. So yeah, Neverwinter, surprisingly, as we've all said pretty much, is a solid game with a couple speed bumps in it.
Despite the money grubbing habits.
Yeah, if they fix that and kind of got in a Warframe fucking mindset of like offering a lot of different price brackets, I'd probably be spending money in that game. So that's on them. They don't want my money. Fuck them.
I just wanted that Founder's mount. I didn't want to pay for it though.
Yeah.
Giant ass spider for $300.
Yeah,
Fuck
that's fucking insane.
that.
And I saw people running around with that. I'm like,
Yeah, I saw
holy
multiple of them. I was
shit.
like, you are wasting money.
Yeah. I've wasted money plenty of times
Yeah.
in my life, but not on that.
That's called expendable income.
Yeah.
Oof.
Yeah, I got a little bit of that now. And every once in a while I find myself buying stupid shit, but not that.
Not that, yeah.
Um,
Real quick, I wanted to show you the screenshots for that Final Fantasy 11 game.
oh, that is not even what I expected.
It looks like Final Fantasy Explorers or Final Fantasy.
Show them that picture.
It looks like Final Fantasy 3 for the DS.
Real quick before I move on to your guys' third picks, real quick honorable mention. The first MMO that because I'd played MMOs when I was younger a lot. Chevy actually got into them when I was younger, when we were younger, and I'd always try them out or whatever, and I was into them or whatever. But the first one I ever like bought on my own and started paying for on my own that pulled me in was Lord of the Rings Online before I went free to play. And I was so in love with that game and the world. I was back then, so don't stab me. I was like, this is like WoW except for better because the world is cool looking. I loved exploring it. And I like Lord of the Rings more than I like Warcraft. So take that as you will.
I was this close to buying the lifetime membership for that game.
Really?
Yeah, it was $100 for a lifetime membership.
I fucking have such fond memories of that game and exploring the world. The world is the reason I love that game so much. The game was fun, played like most MMOs, but the world was so fucking cool. They had like the ambient occlusion and all that shit back when that was in MMOs. They had that technology where there's like trees that don't exist out in the background, so everything looked lush and rolling hills and shit. I'm sure you look at it now and you're like, what the fuck's he talking about? But back then I was just like, I love just progressing in this world, and there was these cool storyline events that didn't really happen in MMOs back then. And like I said, this before they went free to play. Free to play actually killed that game for me.
Oh my god.
The model was weird, especially when it first came out. They're like, you can play it this far, we need to buy zones, and I'm like, I don't want to do that. I bought the fucking game already.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's where I stopped playing.
Yeah, and they're like $20 for a horse. I'm like, no, I literally fucking bought this game from you already.
I had a horse before they did that. Thank God.
Yeah, well, I did too, but there's like a better horse. They're like,
Right.
you need to give us money for this. And I was like, fuck, you ruined this game for me. But yeah, before that, seriously, that should have been on my list because I have that Final Fantasy 11 nostalgia thinking of Lord of the Rings Online. I loved that game. So
What class did you play in that one?
fuck, man.
I'm always curious
I don't
about that kind of
remember, man.
stuff.
It's been a while. I had a Hobbit dude for a while. Yeah, I had him as a joke. I had the dude who fucking was always yelling. He had fervor and shit as a move.
Oh, they got the flags.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He put down flags. He fucking yelled. He boosted the party, and
right.
they got buffs.
Something like that.
Yeah, he's kind of like, he wasn't quite a tank, but he was like a fighter / buffer guy. I loved him. I thought he was awesome.
I played a bard.
Bard was cool.
Bard was dope because you could, if you switched your musical instruments out, the tunes that you would play would switch with them. It was really cool.
Yeah, and that game still had like a Lord of the Rings community as well. Like fucking, you go into towns and people are sitting there like playing instruments and shit, and like it was just a really cool game to explore in. It had a lived-in world, which I loved. And I believe that was made by somebody I liked back then. Turbine, yeah.
They also did Dungeons and Dragons Online.
Yeah, which I liked that game. I forgot that game fucking existed. That was a fun game. But yeah, honorable mention. I'm talking about way too much, but I was just like, man, I loved that game. Third picks.
Well, I mean, mine should be pretty obvious at this point. It also goes between 1 and 2, depending on what aspect of the game we're talking about. But Final Fantasy 14.
No, really?
Yeah, I still play it to this day, although I haven't recently, just because I haven't played anything really recently. So, but it offers everything I pretty much want in an MMO, which is great. They took a lot of notes from World of Warcraft, but it has its Final Fantasy spin on it, which is great.
It definitely has an identity.
Yeah. And after the fixed game, and they started getting to make their own original content for it, they've only gotten better and better and better and better at making the game, which I really appreciate. If I had one major like downfall for me in this game is that I don't feel like I live in this world. I feel like I'm playing a game and getting through a storyline.
I agree, 100%.
And that kind of bums me out.
I'm actually surprised to hear you say that. I admit that.
I love Final Fantasy 11 for the reason I felt like I lived in it. This game's so streamlined. I don't have really stories to tell about Final Fantasy 14.
That's the thing I miss about old MMOs, man. There's no stories anymore.
I have like a couple,
what level are you?
But the details aren't there the same way. Like I saved a video of like the first time I did the Shiva fight because it was like one of the few times I was like, well, that shouldn't have happened. We shouldn't have been able to beat that, blah, blah, blah. But like, I don't really have a story there. It just was a close call.
Well, like even like in WoW and like everybody, anytime I tell, they're like, yeah, that happens, but like it doesn't even happen in games anymore. I can't imagine in like Final Fantasy 14 any big event happening. It's just the game's constantly, and I'm not even attacking that game. It's all games now, but it's just constant events to keep you busy, which is fine. But at the same time, you're not living in the world, like you said. Like I remember when I was playing World of Warcraft with you, one of the many times you paid for me to play it. Because I wasn't going to pay for it, but you're like, I'll buy you time. And I'm like running around with you. I'm a complete noob and running around and shit. And I thought it was funny because we're walking down a fucking... We don't even walk down roads in games anymore. We're walking down a fucking road questing and shit. And some guy on a horse is riding by. And he's like, blah, blah, blah is being attacked by blah, blah, blah. And I was like...
Crossroads.
I was like, what the fuck? Yeah, he's like screaming about that shit. And I'm like, what the fuck was that? And you're like, oh, the Crossroads being attacked by somebody. I'm like...
The Alliance, yeah.
Yeah, and I'm like, there's running there and attacking people and shit. And you're like, yeah, it happens, blah, blah, blah. I'm like... That's crazy. There's something happening down that road that like we're leaving, and then like 5 minutes later, I just saw a group of people heading down that road. I'm like, holy shit, this is like fucking. I was like, this is so fucking weird to see people like mobilizing and shit for this. And like I said, I'm not a big WoW fan, but like that event, I always remember in my head. It's every day for anybody playing it, but I was like, this is fucking crazy. This is going on.
It's not every day in that game anymore.
Yeah,
because fast travel and hubs.
Yeah, exactly, and that whole thing. Like I said, like that's a story that I remember because it was an event that happened and I actually like got to experience it. It wasn't just like, okay, I'm level 8, go over here, kill this thing, an event, kill those things, blah blah blah. You don't talk to anybody because they'll just run in, do the event, and they'll just leave. And yeah, it's something I missed. So it's funny you bring that up in 14, which I have to say, I think Final Fantasy 14 is probably one of the best MMOs ever made. It's not my favorite, but as a whole MMO. It's the complete package.
I think people in general would agree because they're still growing, and it's been years.
Well, I think you can make a really good case if you could compare it to any other MMOs. I'm not saying it's the best, but it's one of the best ones to be made because it's just solid. It looks good. It plays well. Everything works.
They just moved the servers to increase capacity for the game. I mean, like, there's a lot of things like showing, and the story only gets better and better with that game, which draws in more and more people every time it happens. So.
Yeah. That is the thing, though, with the storyline and lack of the community and living in feel is it does feel like, and I'm not talking shit. I think it's a neat idea, but it does feel like I'm playing a single player game that I play with other people.
Yep.
Which I think is actually a feat on their part to get that single player feeling of an RPG because this is what they do.
One is Final Fantasy,
exactly.
Right?
So it's smart they did that.
You're still getting a Final Fantasy storyline, and they've only gotten better at it, which I really appreciate. Because the original story from 1 to 50, or the base game, Realm Reborn, is passable, right? But I always have to emphasize they were fixing a broken game, right?
Which they deserve a shitload of credit because I played the original 14. I hated it.
It was gorgeous. That's all I
had
going
for it.
For
beautiful, but I was like, this place sucks.
Now, after that, and I've emphasized, there's a huge reason I wanted you and Josh to like get to that point, and unfortunately, we've all just kind of stopped playing it. So hopefully, I can get
started playing every other game ever.
But after you get past the end of the story, the original story, and they started making their own stuff, it just gets better and better. It's crazy, especially with like getting into Heaven's Ward and now like Stormblood. The storytelling, the cutscenes, all that stuff have just massively improved. Chris,
I've played it a lot, obviously. Yeah. I think out of the group, I'm the furthest in the storyline.
You are.
I'm at the very end of the storyline. I'm just kind of waiting for Chevy to catch up.
Spoil it all for everybody?
Let's not do that.
I'm not going to spoil anything for anybody. No, I like
he said no to me like he was insulted.
No.
I'm not ruining it.
I'm literally sitting at the end waiting for Chevy to catch up so that, I just kind of weird about doing things by myself in that game. I really like to have people, well, not even just by myself, just playing with random people. I like to have at least a person in my group who knows what they're doing.
Yeah.
Or at least I know them and can rely on them. But I've played a different class in every expansion.
Every expansion you have, yeah.
Every single expansion I switch my class up every time. So I started with Bard, and then I went Ninja, and now I'm a Dark Knight.
You like bards.
Huh?
I said you like bards.
I do like the concept of a Bard. I really do.
You also picked as one of your favorite weapons, though. It was like a fucking...
It was an instrument.
Yeah. So you got particular tastes.
I like music.
Me too. I love music.
But
I have not. In fact, I only switched...
Because you were Dragoon.
I would love to go back and continue leveling Dragoon because I think it's an amazing class in that game. But I played a Samurai in 11, and then they're like, Samurai, come to 14. I was like, fuck. Guess I'm not playing Dragoon anymore. So,
But yeah, the storyline's great. The graphics of it are amazing. The gameplay has gotten more streamlined over
It's a
time.
very good looking game. For an MMO.
Especially in DX11.
I just wish there were more, I guess, I don't want to say easily accessed mounts. Like, there's only so many mounts you can get without doing, like,
The hard stuff.
the hardcore stuff, which is a little unfortunate.
Yeah, but they're trophies. I get it.
I get it, but
You just want more.
I want more.
Yeah, I'm with you.
That's my big struggle with that game is it doesn't lack content, but it doesn't have as much as I want. It's fine. Like I'm not even like, oh, it's not enough. But for me, like yeah, it'd be cool if there's more mounts. So, like they create plenty of content, but they're working hard on making like a single player storyline driven MMO.
And dungeons constantly.
And that's a lot of work for sure. But with that work going into that, there's less like armor set. I mean, there's plenty of armor sets, but a lot of them come up and there's the same
They're
different
recolors.
colors, which I don't even care. I care about the stats and getting new shit. I'm easy. I'll play a game where you give me a red shirt and then a black shirt, and if that black shirt has different stats and I get them plenty enough, I don't care.
I'm a cosmetic whore.
I do love cosmetics, but I'm saying I like items more than anything. And that game, even though it's not as bad as I remember, it still takes a while to get new shit. But yeah, I'm on the same page of like I wish there was more stuff in the game to get, but there is plenty of content in the game. If that makes sense.
It's a weird spot.
Well, even when we were trying to get, Josh into it, and then he decided to start playing it. I
Got him out of it.
I emphasized. Well, he got pretty close too, but I emphasized to him. I was like, you don't have to just sit there and level, man. There's so many like side things to do now. Like you can go to the Gold Saucer, you can do choco racing. I mean, there's all sorts of like random things you could be doing, and even the crafting itself. Even though I know you're not a huge fan, is a game in itself. So
I like crafting Guild Wars too. It's just mass production like the Russians. I was making pot pies for days.
you can technically do that in 14 once you've done it manually one time.
Oh, I would say it's like how it's like it'd be like pie,
But
pie.
you don't get as much
Pie,
experience
pie,
if you do it
pie,
automatically.
pie, pie,
You
It
get-
doesn't matter if he's just trying to mass produce something.
Yeah.
What, Final Fantasy 14? I'm not crafting that game.
Yeah, I barely do.
I don't craft. All right.
I just, and this is more just me going, I have one, but like in every discipline, I want to make sure I have one max level on each. So one caster, one melee, one gatherer, and one crafter. I just have to, just okay, I have that in case something comes up where I need something like that. But yeah, no, I love that game. Unless something crazy happens, like they delete my fucking account, I don't see myself having a negative opinion about that game. They'd really have to screw it up.
I don't think they will. I think
so,
the biggest threat that game is ever going to have, it's going to meander in the same gameplay forever. But they haven't even done that yet. Have you guys both done your third one?
That
You
was,
haven't?
No, I was the first one.
Oh, okay. Wow, I got confused there. All right. Anything else on that?
No,
Well for days.
that's pretty much it. If you're interested in, I think any of the games we played, though, they've either been free to play or they have free trials. So
Yeah, surprisingly. You know you shouldn't play? Wow. And that's the Old Republic? Is that the...
I tried
or
that.
the Old Republic.
I've tried
Star
that
Wars,
within the
the
last
Old
year,
Republic.
and it's
You know what's funny, man? I thought I played that game before I went free to play. I thought it was really fucking well done.
It was.
Really well done. I thought it was fun. I thought the choice system and the conversation like BioWare does was really neat. And then went free to play, and that system's fucked.
I was a Sith Lord.
Oh, of course you were.
I killed my master.
Um,
Bitch had it coming.
I played yeah, they would. If they're a Sith, yeah. They all have it coming. I think I played a Jedi like anybody else would.
yeah, I also played a Jedi.
Yeah. You gotta get that. You gotta get that that Star Wars fucking experience.
I even had the dual-sided lightsaber.
Yeah, that game was fun. I don't know why I'm talking about it, but
Because it was good,
and
but then they came free to play.
That's a way you don't do. MMOs
Yeah.
are free to play. Punish people. Yeah, I haven't gone. I've been going third every time, so I'll go second this time. My third pick and my probably my top pick. Most fond memories, most time put into an MMO. Game I love to death, and I like it more than the original, is Phantasy Star Universe. I lived in that game. That is an MMO that I was just absorbed into. Honorable mention Vindictus and Warframe.
Vindictus was on my honorable mentions.
They're all on that area of hub based co-op MMOs. But yeah, Phantasy Universe is fucking awesome. That carries over from Phantasy Star Online. I played that a shitload, and then Phantasy Star Universe came out. It's a better looking, more streamlined, and just more actiony game with new weapons, new ideas, dual wielding, being able to have a sword and a gun, and fucking strafe while shooting an Uzi and swinging a sword. Really cool boss battles that kind of reminds me of games like Monster Hunter in a simple way. Remember fighting the dragon. We weren't supposed to fight him in the very beginning of the game. It took us an hour. We still beat him. The game allowed us to beat a dude that was out of our level range. It took us forever, but we did it. I fucking miss shit like that. It's a story that we don't have in MMOs anymore. I love the way the game looks. I love the fucking style in the game. I love the cosmetics because you look cool as shit. The different locations you go to, the community that PSO also had is awesome. You can make cool emotes with your character's face, change their face or whatever, and then hit a button and you go and show your character all pissed off or whatever. It just added to the whole communication and just fun of the game. It was just a game you could sit in and enjoy. I chased someone out of their own fucking house one time. That's a story. You could everybody had their house, and as you bought things or got things from missions, you could decorate your house, which was really neat.
Could also run a store out of it.
You could run a store out of it. I had one. I played that game so much. I probably put the most time in that game out of any MMO. And yeah, I went into somebody's. You could lock your house, but they had it unlocked. I was just going through the fucking people's names and shit on the elevator, and I ended up going to this person's house. I feel like a dick now because I'm older, more mature now. Still funny. Ran in, looked at these two people. They're sitting on the floor, like talking with each other, just chilling. I'm like, get out of here. And the person got up, got my face, like, you get out of here. I'm like, you get the fuck out of here right now. And they're like, this is my house. I'm like, not anymore. I'm like, you're leaving. I'm like, you've been evicted. I'm just seeing where we can go with this. And they're like, you're because you could like click on someone and kick them out of the house. They're like, you're leaving right now. I'm like, no, I'm not. I'm like, you're leaving. And they're like, I'm kicking you. I'm like, no, you're not. And I started running around the table, and they started chasing me. I was running. Finally, they stop and walk back over to their friend. They sit down. They start talking again, like I'm not there. I'm just in the other room, just like around the corners, like looking at them. I run up again. I'm like, leave. They're like, we're not leaving. I'm like, you're getting the fuck out of here. I'm like, get out of here now. And they're like, you can't make us leave. I'm like, you're leaving right now. And they're like, fine. And they both stood up and they left. And I was like, what did I do? I almost felt bad. I didn't think they were going to do it. I was waiting for them to kick me, but they couldn't get me. But I was like, Jesus Christ, I just fucking evicted people out of their house in a video game. Josh is there too, and he was just running around too, but I think Bobo was playing that too. Yeah, that game was just so fucking fun. It was ridiculous.
Who the fuck's Bobo?
Long lost relic. Just like the Xbox One.
So I also played PSU a little bit. I, unfortunately, and I can't remember what was going on in my life at the time, but I didn't get to dedicate as much time to that game as I would have liked. So I don't have a
That's weird you didn't play it as much.
Well, it's funny because I liked it.
You were playing WoW a shitload though then.
Was it that at that time?
Yeah, you're playing a lot of WoW then with everybody.
Okay, well that makes sense. I was playing.
Because every once in a while you'd hop on, but not a lot.
Huh. Yeah, I don't really remember too much. I know, well, it's funny too, because with WoW, I had no intention to play it. In my main character, I gave him a joke name and a race that I wouldn't have cared about. You know, I just did not give a shit about anything. And I started playing it and then continued playing it. So, but
that's probably the most established community you've had in MMO though. So it'd be hard to leave that.
Yeah, I would say I had a pretty established one in 11 as well. But
a group that big? There's a bunch of guys playing WoW.
Yeah, if I could find it. We had a screenshot where we had a guy in 11. His name was Josh. I'm not going to say his last name, but he...
Dude, dox him right now. Let him... what's his address?
He was leaving the game because he was getting ready to have a family and blah, blah, and he was moving and stuff. And we threw this... all day.
I have to leave him with that babies.
We did a goodbye, day for him or whatever, and we went to his favorite location to meet up. Took a bunch of screenshots, posing and stuff for it. We went to his favorite zone and killed every monster in the zone.
That is so dorky in the best way possible.
I don't know. It was great, and you know we're like lighting off fireworks and shit. Like it was cool, but yeah, we had a huge group of people. So
Those days are gone.
the difference with World of Warcraft versus Final Fantasy 11 is a lot of people in World of Warcraft I either knew personally or knew through a person I knew personally. As for in 11, a lot
That's
of
where I first met you as WoW.
Was it?
Yeah, I remember once I saw you talk, and I was like, "Who the hell's that?"
I vaguely remember that.
So I met Daniel.
But in Final Fantasy 11, there was a lot of people that don't even live in this state. Like, it's just people I ran into and enjoyed playing with. So,
Yeah, Fantasy Star Universe though
yes.
is awesome. I loved it.
No, I agree. And the one thing you brought up that I really enjoyed about that game was the style aspect. You could, buy clothes, and armor in that game was literally like energy light that was a highlight to your clothes. And
Yeah, so clothes were clothes.
yeah, clothes were clothes, and then armor was just light that would, depending on whatever clothes it would be a highlight. on
Red,
there.
blue, white, yellow.
I also
Like, yeah,
liked
Tron fucking lining and shit.
one of the races that I enjoyed playing. That was like a beast class. They're like these
Yeah, they
little
could
cutesy
transform.
people at first, but then like you'd like either build up a bar or something would happen, and you'd enrage into this huge beast
Like
instead.
Squanch
I don't know what that is.
from Rick and Morty.
I've never seen that show.
Pulls out his tooth and drinks the serum, and he gets all scary.
Well, I know I have screenshots somewhere of that. I'll show you. But I think the hardest part I had with that game, because I didn't stick it out, was I felt like I was stuck in certain zones for a long time when it first came out. So, but for the most part, yeah, we tried actually finding a private server at one point because the game's dead. And apparently that's not an easy task, because the one we found, like, you could only hang out in the mall part, and that was it.
It worked though for me when I played it.
Yeah.
So as long as I keep working on it, I mean, hopefully that is realized. Because playing it again, I was like, holy fuck, I could play this for sure. Like I went to the first. You could only go to the first area, and the combat didn't work correctly. But I was like, it's playing, so I mean, at least something's going on. Hopefully, they're a lot further along.
Yeah.
I don't know what it takes to get that to happen, but yeah, I would. Yeah, if that game, if I had access to that game again, I'd fucking play it. I still own the fucking disc somewhere on there.
I never played it.
You'd like it. I think you'd like it.
I like the Fantasy Star games that I've played.
It's a cosmetic game that is one of the original like hub-based
Social.
Warframe Vindictus social games.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's dope.
Another honorable mention, Mabinogi. Speaking of social games.
I love Mabinogi. Another game with really original ideas.
Yeah.
In that game, you actually picked your age when you start.
I'm
So you
putting
could be
that one on the list.
Yeah, do it. You can start as a kid or like a late teenager, but as you play in the game, your character actually ages and grows.
And depending on what age you were, when you level, your stats would go up differently.
Yeah, which is really neat. But the combat system is a rock paper scissors system, which is really weird. So if you do a certain move and they do a certain thing, it might like block, or you might like do extra damage, like if you do a smash or whatever. That game just has so much charm. There's so much fucking. It's social as fuck though. The whole game is just cosmetics and locations and different types of items and stuff. I don't know. Mabinogi is a really, really, really neat idea. It's the same guys that made Vindictus, even though they're very different games. But yeah, you didn't play PSU. You'd like it definitely because the type of game it is. You play those already. Yeah, that's all I have to say on PSU. Also, honorable mention, talking about dead MMOs and sci-fi MMOs, which we don't have enough of. I hate that we don't have very many sci-fi MMOs because I like sci-fi more than fantasy. But a game that you probably never heard of or never played called RF Online. I loved the fuck out of that game.
That was a cool one.
And it died eventually, but there was classes that had these giant fucking like laser weapons, and there's another class that had mechs that they could get into, and you could like level those and shit. Another guy who had like giant swords and shit. It was sci-fi, really neat, really cool. Oddly enough, I used to listen to the Eve soundtrack when I played that game, so I probably always remember the Eve soundtrack when I think of that game, just because I think the Eve soundtrack's fucking great. But yeah, RF Online was awesome, but that is a dead game, and that's depressing. But it's a pretty simple MMO, so I mean, I don't think people are really missing out, but I miss it. Is it back?
Someone else has it, but yeah, there it is.
Fuck. Okay. I'm gonna have to look into that. Chris.
So the game that I'm going to say is the one I spent the most time on, spent the most money in, have the most memories of, and is the most cliche, is World of Warcraft.
I was waiting for somebody to have that.
I figured I would do it since I went last. It's kind of has to be put in the list because I think it's the most played MMO to date around the world.
It's definitely the most fucking top tier, fucking well known MMO out there.
Mm-hmm. I lived in that game. I've met people in real life through that game. I've met people. Well, I haven't actually met them yet, but I've made such connections with other people, mostly Australians, because I played really late at night. That they said that
me on FPSs too, man.
Yeah.
Australians all day, they're assholes.
they told me that if I was ever in the country, that I should visit them. Like, you can come stay at my house for as long as you need to. It's not a big deal. You know, it's crazy the people that I've met through that. I used to play. I jumped a lot of servers in my time, and I played on one server called Proudmoore. And at the time, I don't know if this is anymore, but it was the largest LGBTQ server in the game. I was in the largest LGBTQ guild for the Horde at the time, which was called Stonewall. It was just called Stonewall. And it was massive. Absolutely massive. We had 5 of the guilds that were part of this main guild, and we had programmers within the guild. So they had programmed add-ons so that all guilds could talk through one chat. They also programmed basically Grindr into the game.
Oh, really?
So you could right-click someone's name, and it would pull up any images that they uploaded as an overlay. You could just go through all their pictures to see who you were playing with.
That's really cool that you could have a community like that big and meet people who are part of that community. Because I mean, like in real life, I'm sure it's not as accessible as having that all these people around the world coming together essentially.
We even had a sister guild in the Alliance, and that if we saw them, you were not allowed to attack each other. If you attacked or killed each other, you got like warnings and kicked from the guild. We even had a gay pride day on actual gay pride in game, and you would march from just outside Ogremar so that the Alliance characters wouldn't get attacked, all the way down to South Shore, get on the boat, and it would end in Booty Bay, where there's this huge party because it's a neutral territory, and just people are just going crazy for hours, just dancing and hanging out and chit-chatting. And if anybody from the opposing faction attacked someone, then everybody from that faction would just turn on them, just like blow them up. But there's so many memories and stories I have just from like the games I played since vanilla all the way up to Cataclysm, I think it was. So I think that's when I finally stopped playing, was Cataclysm.
Here's pretty much where I stopped. So
Me too.
I was reintroduced for 2 days in Pandaland expansion.
Oh,
Pandaland expansion.
I took a break right as Pandaland came out because I felt very offended by it.
Yeah, I realized when that came out and I came back to it that I was just kind of done. And I don't have anything negative to say about the game.
No, I mean that's respectable. Just be like, this is tapped for me.
So, and I miss the people I played with because you spend enough time with people, whether it's online or in real life, you become attached to them. So,
Hi, Zumwa.
but I can't get them to play anything else. So,
Because they're still living that dream. They're not tapped. They love it.
in fact, when we went to the wedding,
Yep.
my old guild leader literally followed me around all night, harassing me to come back to WoW.
Sure asked me to come back. I'm like, dude, I barely played.
Yeah.
She asked me too.
Trying to rebuild that guild.
Yeah.
Like I literally, like, as from in that game was a dude who just randomly would show up. Like, my brother brought me here. I was like wandering around like, what's this? And I just disappear for months. And then I'm like, all right, I'm back visiting. Should be paid for me more time. And people talk to me on the thing. I'm like, blah, blah, blah. And I fucking disappear. And I come back in. I'm like, all right, I'm back for a little bit.
I am such a collection whore in that game. I have so many
There's a
mounts,
lot of shit in that game.
so many titles, so many achievements. It's disgusting how much time I spent doing that kind of stuff. I have the Explorer title. I have the title for having max rep with all the base reps from way back in the day. I've got like 2 mounts that have like a 0.3% drop rate. Like it's stupid how much time I spent in that game. Absolutely stupid.
Yeah, I spent a lot of time in it as well. So
And that's kind of the whole point of like a good MMO though, is like they're games you can just fucking sink time into.
Mm-hmm.
They're worth investing that time. And with the community, I mean, like you're gonna spend even more time like than a Skyrim or something.
for some.
If anything though, discussing all of this, fucking this just reminds me of all the things about, aside from Neverwinter, all the things in MMOs I miss that aren't really in them anymore because they're all just kind of fucking designed in a way to constantly keep you busy and getting things, which
Yeah.
I can't complain about because it's something I complain if it's not there. But at the same time, I miss the nuances that allow you to live in them.
It's overwhelming at this point now,
Yeah.
all the stuff that they have going on at the same time.
Yep.
There's just not enough time to do everything anymore.
There's no time to chill, man. It's just
No.
fucking like, I gotta go. Fucking, oh, there's an event here. I gotta.
Well, it's funny because one thing I told myself when I reactivated my Final Fantasy 14 account even was like, I'm going to play this for the storyline. I might do a little bit of endgame stuff, like if I have time, but I'm not going to like devote myself to like grinding out the best gear in the game anymore because like there's just too many other games I want to play, and it never ends. You're never going to be done.
Yeah.
You know, so like I was just like, I'm going to play to enjoy it and not to like essentially become like, you know, a crackhead about like getting all the shit at the end of the game. So, and it's worked out for me well. I don't like sit there and like not pressured to fly through the game or blah, blah. I hop in, I play, I enjoy myself. I mean, when I was playing WoW, I was like doing the end game stuff every day because I was just like obsessed with getting that. And even the first time I played 14, the same thing. I was just so obsessed with getting to that point. And yeah, I don't know. I feel like you lose something playing those games that way instead of just playing them, enjoying your time in the world.
Yeah.
So
There's no real stories to tell
yeah.
other than what the main scenario is.
Yep. So I don't want to do that anymore. Even if a new MMO comes out, I'm gonna take my time with it.
Yep.
That's just the way I'm gonna play them now.
Yep.
So
Well, that's like me in Final Fantasy 14, man. Like, I'm just like trying to cruise through it and shit. And I'm enjoying it, but I'm not enjoying as much as I could be, I guess. But I always think negatively about that game before I play it. I'm like, oh, I'm not gonna like it. And I play, I'm like, I like this game. What the fuck's my problem? I don't know why. Anything else? Any honorable mentions, real quick? We were already past the 2-hour mark, which we haven't done in a while.
well, I mean, I pretty much said them. I think Vindictus and Mabinogi are big honorable
Mabinova.
mentions for me. I enjoy them both for very different reasons. Vindictus has that hub action combat. You know, you can leave it for a long time and come back, and it, you know, it's still a fun game. Mabinogi is like a social game.
Yeah.
I mean, I spent most of my time playing instruments in that game, running around playing songs.
There's
Because
like all these like weird little quests in towns too, where you talk to people and go talk to other people because they like, oh, give this person or go talk to that person. Like, oh, I like that person. There's all these like little like almost like Harvest Moon styled little quests and shit
yeah.
to do.
And then, of course, you know, the memory of Josh being knocked out of his clothes.
Yeah, that was amazing. There's a fucking ogre that we had to kill for a mission.
Oh, I've heard this story.
Yeah, and we're running out there and we're
He's like a
waiting.
little kid, right?
Well, yeah, he was
We're
a
all
kid
kids at the time, yeah.
No, he was like the youngest you could be though. Me and you were older than him.
Oh, okay.
Because we were like mid-aged for like
Gotcha.
being a kid. He was like a fucking little baby in his fucking suspenders, trousers. But yeah, we ran out there and fucking the thing had just been killed, so we're like waiting for it or whatever. And fucking we're sitting there, and all of a sudden we saw another like group of people who hadn't been waiting and running, and all of a sudden spawned. And we're like, "Fuck, we got to get in there!" So start running in there and shit. I remember Josh yelling at those people too. He's like, "You might like that's ours, motherfucker!" And like we ran in there. I remember from my view, I see fucking Josh run. The ogre fucking hits him, and he fucking flies. He's off my screen, but his clothes are on my screen. I was like, what the fuck? I look over, and he's dead on the ground in his underwear and his tidy whities. I was like, holy shit. That fucking ogre literally fucking decked him out of his clothes. It was ridiculous. That shouldn't have happened, especially to a child. That ogre didn't give a fuck. So we had to avenge him. Me and Chevy fought him for a long time.
I went ahead and I put both those games on the list, by the way. So
Good. Yeah, and going over my own mentions again, fucking RF Online, Lord of the Rings Online, which for me is legendary. I loved that game. And I had another one, Secret World. Secret World's awesome.
That's the one I have on mine. Or a bunch of Secret World.
Yeah, which is also on the list. I'm gonna get those games going. Yeah, I think that's about everything, right?
That should wrap it up.
Fucking
Yeah.
cut this. Get the fuck out of here. Let us know in the comments what your favorite MMOs are and why. Any newer ones? Any? Did you play way back in the fucking day? What was that? The one you used to play?
Dark Age of Camelot.
Dark Age Camelot. Did you ever fucking play that? Did you ever play? Are you an EverQuest guy? EverQuest 2 was fun. I liked that game.
Playing Black Desert Online.
Black Desert Online. I'd
Blade
like
and
to.
Soul.
I want to play.
Blade and Soul.
I want to play Black Desert Online, but nobody will play with me. Why won't they play with me?
Because we don't like you.
This is obvious. This is obvious that they hate me. This is why we're hanging out. That's what MMOs are all about, man. Hanging out with people who hate you. But I think it's going to do it for this episode of Tastecast, episode 36. As always, thanks for watching, guys. Make sure to like, subscribe if you enjoyed this episode. Make sure to check out our other episodes. Check us out on Tumblr and Twitter, Tasty Loot Gaming. Check out the streams on the channel if you missed them. They're uploaded, as always. And check them out on Twitch if you want to. Tasty_fruit. And yeah, as always, my name's Seth.
I'm Chevy.
And I'm Chris.
Until next episode, Taste Tuesday on Tuesday. Have a great weekend, guys, and take it easy.